to the ashes. The spirits light up the night.
Now, we're live from the Untold Radio Network. It's Untold Radio AM with Monster Quest producer, host Doug Hajicek, and co-host Jeff Perrella Jr. Untold Radio AM is going live right now.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Doing great. On this Thanksgiving's Eve.
Yes, it is. Thanksgiving Eve's cold. Oh, my goodness. I didn't get outside today, but I went out. I had to grab a package off the porch, and I was like, oh, my God, it's changed.
Yeah, I broke out the winter jacket finally. I've been avoiding it, and I finally needed it today.
Oh, my God. Okay, people are starting to come in here. We started exactly on time today.
Yeah, nice.
Are you feeling okay? I'm checking my...
We got it going.
Yeah, so this is episode 221. Welcome,
221.
Everybody. Yeah,
yep.
We got people streaming in. Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate the super chat. And we have a good guest tonight. We've got Flatrock on. I've been trying to get him on for, about a year. I think about a year.
Yeah.
He's a very humble guy.
Yes.
He's extremely high. I have not met him yet.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit. Really nice guy.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Want to give a shout out to our moderators as they come in. I'm going to do that in a little bit here, but we've got some new things going on too besides Flatrock. And Flatrock's interesting because this is actually said by many other people I've talked to. He has Sasquatches, or if your name is Jay, Sasquatch, living on his property. Is it Sasquatch, Jeff, or Sasquatches? For plural. It's like moose. It's a whole bunch of moose.
I would say Sasquatch is plural. Yeah.
Sasquatches?
Yeah. I don't think it's like deer or moose. It's yeah. I think a group of Sasquatch means a group of Sasquatch. Yeah. So
just Sasquatch, no S.
Yep. I think so.
Well, then I made a mistake on the thumbnail.
Okay, well, I think there's no rules on that. The grammar police are taking the night off. It's a holiday.
As I told Jay, I said, if that's the only mistake I made today, that's a good day. That's a good day.
Say that often. If that's the worst thing that happens to me today, I'm having a pretty darn good day.
Exactly. And we have Tech Breakdown tonight, really cool one. We've got You Be the Judge. We've got some really weird footage going on in that. Clip picks. We have trivia. And I think we're going to try to play with Flatrock.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll ask him. He may not want to.
Yeah, it's up to him.
Because
we can find somebody in the chat that wants to play if he doesn't, but I hope he does.
He doesn't want to make you feel bad, Jeff.
Yeah, he could embarrass me. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyhow. And then we have a new section tonight that's just kind of fun because it's, Thanksgiving Eve. It's our Thanksgiving show. We're going to do a marketplace. We've got a whole bunch of weird ads that we've collected. Yeah. And we're going to go through those one by one, and it'll be fun. And, example would be, I think I sent you an example where some guy posted his motorcycle covered in dust. He doesn't have the make listed, doesn't have the engine size, doesn't have the make. He doesn't have anything. He just got one crappy, filthy picture.
Dark in the dark.
Yeah.
Poorly lit.
I'm thinking.
I don't understand that.
But I'm thinking, are you going to sell that? Is that your marketing? I want to hire that guy for my marketing manager.
Yeah, I look at a lot of ads too. I'm always looking at Marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I think a lot of people do it, and hopefully we have a little fun with this section today. Yeah. And then next week, because we're getting closer to Christmas, probably do some Amazon, some weird products from Amazon. So, Jeff,
fun.
one of your assignments is to pick out 5 things that are super weird for next week. Okay.
PG rated, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes. PG.
Keep it PG.
Yes. Anyhow, so I don't know what else I got going on. Hi to Sly Fox. We got Jennifer Arnold. Flat Rockland is in. We got Jay, who criticized me on my plural version of Sasquatch. Hi, Jay. And we got Not So Perfect Bigfoot Show in there, and China Productions, and Brown Dwarf. Hey, Brown Dwarf. We got to get you on one of these days. PM me. Let's get you booked. Love to have a conversation with you. Tennessee Bigfoot. We got Brendan B. in. Hi, Brendan. I hope you're feeling.
Hey, Brendan.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's get into this marketplace crap.
All righty. Let's let her rip.
It's now time for Untold Radio's odd, strange, weird, and zany marketplace deals. Please don't let these gems slip away.
The art department was busy with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, anyhow, first, what in the world, you can throw up photo A, what in the world would somebody be selling slightly rusted dental tools? And for only $3, Jeff. Are you going to take part of your day and then have some stranger coming to get creepy dental tools to your house for $3?
I don't understand. I don't understand those listings. Like, it's not worth your time. I don't understand.
I don't get it. And sometimes
the fact that what do you do with that stuff? But
well, you check their, the seller details, and that's the only thing listed. And you're like, creepy. Super weird.
Well, they have no other sales. They spent their time to set up one ad.
Yeah. That takes time. And it says make an offer. $3 or make an offer, Jeff. So we would like you to make a 20-cent offer and then go over and pick those up in about midnight.
Yeah, sure. I'll get right
by
on
yourself. By yourself.
Sure. What could go wrong?
That's enough of that one. Photo B is another great one. I love the description. Okay. Already it's just creepy because of the black crap around Casper's mouth. But it says, here's the description. Verbatim. Glow-in-the-dark vintage Casper, the friendly ghost from the movie show. Yeah. So he says, I was trying to get him to glow, and I put him too close to the lamp. So if the color is black, he can look like he's saying boo. Oh, yeah, that's a deal now. He says boo. And it's a real deal at $11. So
$11.
$11. So you can get ahead of the curve.
Bargain at twice the price.
You can get ahead of the curve, people, and you can buy this. Halloween's only 325 days away.
Yeah, get ready. I don't understand why somebody would. I don't get it.
Could you imagine? Look at his mouth.
What do you?
Burned a hole in his face. And he goes, it looks like he's saying boo. No, it looks like his mouth is burnt.
It's exactly what it looks like. Didn't say.
Oh God! Thank God I have. Does it take you a while to get rid of get used to the very dry air in the wintertime when that winter first comes on?
I'm in the minority that I actually like low humidity. I like dry air. My sinuses are better. I actually kind of like the dry air.
You're happy today because it's dry.
Yeah. Oh, I lived out west for a bit and I loved it. I love that dry mountain air in Colorado. It was great. I never breathed so better. My sinuses were clear.
Is it as dry as Casper's mouth, Jeff?
No.
Okay.
It's less dry and less hot.
All right.
Poor mouth.
Photo C is another odd one. You see a lot of this stuff, homemade art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one's extremely bizarre. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know who would want. But you notice they took a photo right next to some sriracha sauce.
Sure.
Yeah, you got to have that.
I keep that on my workbench all the time. Who doesn't?
Yeah, of course. You can put it on your. You can
Right next to the glue.
Yeah, you can grease things with the sriracha. But here's the catch on this one. Why it's weird. Head sculpture with a copper skull cap, hair and copper earring, and it's only $285. That's it. Only.
I don't even have a response to that.
No, I don't either.
If you would have said $25, I would have thought it was too much.
And
Maybe is the copper worth that much? I don't even know.
No, his earring's missing. He said a copper earring. It's missing.
You know, copper is sky high right now.
All right, the next one's really weird. Photo D.
Yes, it is.
Throw this up. Okay, first off, what in the heck? Okay. Creepy ceramic corn face figurines. You get 31 of them. And that's all I can say. I mean, this is $40 for 31 of these. It's like, why? I can imagine what people do with these.
I don't want to think about it too hard.
I don't either. And where have they been? And some are smiling. Some are frowning. There's unhappy ones. They're, oh God, that's so weird.
Some of them may have had a scary journey. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyhow, they look clean. At least they went through their dishwasher. All right. Photo E. You know, you could appreciate this. This is a picture of a thing called the Rack Pack. It's a rack cue ball and table brush, but it's got the Dale Earnhardt signature and the number 3. And I have no idea. What does pool have to do with racing, Jeff?
You know, I think a lot of people just like decorating their house with that kind of stuff.
But,
you know, they probably got a home bar and they got their pool table in there and they want to decorate with whatever. I kind of get that one. I'm not never a big Dale Earnhardt fan, but I can kind of understand that.
I know, but who wakes up in the morning? Yeah, but Jeff, who wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to spend a whole bunch of money, start a company, package a cue ball brush or a pool brush in with this stuff and put a number 3 on the key? I don't know. And then God knows what 20 years later decide to sell it for how much, do you think? Do you have any idea?
I can't even imagine. I'm sure somebody lost money on that. Yeah, I'm sure it costs more than 10.
And by the way, before I reveal the price, you guys I really want you to start guessing in chat. It's $10. Okay, moving on. Enough of that one. Photo F. This is the Big Bubba 72-ounce insulated water jug bottle. And here's where it gets a little creepy. In the description, it says, very clean, no odors, no leaks, and no weird thermos smells. $5.
What's a weird thermos smell?
Well, I was supposed to wait before people could guess. But here's the other thing. There's nobody's getting their hand around that thing. Not even Big Bubba. He ain't getting his hand around that thing.
Well, there might be a hand. Is there a handle on the backside, I wonder?
Nope. It's just huge, bulged out thing. All right, enough of that one. Yeah. All right, the next one. I want people to guess on what this price is. Photo F.
Hold on a second.
Hopefully you have it. It's one of my favorites. Oh, thank God for root beer. All right, there is a thing, as you can see. I have no idea what it is. I wouldn't want to sit on it. It is apparently in the description, a paperweight or just a decoration. All right. So you're going to decorate with that. All right. So everybody, please guess how much this is. And I'm gonna look now. I'm looking. You got to put what it. Okay. 1985. From Selena. Let's see. Sly Fox says 10. Susan Lawrence says 5. MS Mary says 20. Caillou says 25. It's $5. And I'm thinking,
how do they describe it?
A paperweight or just a decoration. That's it. $5.
Wow. Okay.
No size. You don't know if it's, 10 pounds. You don't know if it's 12 inches. You don't know anything. But one thing I will say, it is ugly.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Plus, there's a chunk, it looks like, broken out of it. All right, enough of that.
I mean,
Photo G. Photo G. It's another weird one. All right, this is for all you buyers out there that want this, it's a 15-inch steering wheel, chrome center, with, like the description, some rust. Some rust. It's in stock, it says too. No, I think this would look great on Alex's Toyota.
Sure.
We could just unbolt the one he's got on there and throw this on. It would look good in his
Piece of
Toyota.
cake. Yeah.
So David says 5. Tennessee says 8. Miss Mary says 15. Kyer says 1776. $1.50 for Gina and $15 for Susan. Okay. It is $5.
Well, he's not lying. There is some rust on it.
Yeah, and that's
an accurate description, I guess.
But you would have to just sit and look at the rubber, the Bakelite around the edges all chipped up.
Yeah, I just can't see a use for that.
No, sometimes you can't recycle things.
$5 or a beer. I would rather have spent $5 on a beer than spend $5 on that.
Okay, the next one. That's enough of that one. Photo H. This one's okay. Look at the right corner. People, when you're taking photos of stuff you want to sell, don't include your toes.
Ick.
It's just like, don't do it. All right, this is original artwork. Okay, gotta love the toes. And that's all it says, original art, but he'll ship it too, but he wants you to come pick this up. And I'm thinking, okay. And does anybody want to guess on how much this is for the original art with the toes at the bottom? And would you go there to go pick this up in the middle of the night?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Caillou goes, darn, the toes aren't included. Miss Mary goes, ooh. Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot says he wants $12. Sly Fox says 50 cents. Okay, the guy wants $40. Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck. Do you think he would just like if he put it on a white sheet or something, a white background?
Yeah.
That would class it up tremendously, but the marketing skills, they never cease to amaze me.
Can you get a pedicure for $40? I have no idea what's a pedicure cost. Maybe that's to be saving up for. Who knows?
I don't know. Photo G, moving on. Oh, by the way, Susan guessed $4.50. Caillou said $40 for the toes. Oh my God. No, but it might be good. Adbusters art piece. Okay, Gina said that. All right, Photo J. We have a dried puffer fish, better known as a porcupine fish. Okay, so he's taken the photo, he's put it on top of some jars apparently to elevate it. And does anybody want to guess what this thing is? Like, why would anybody want this, first off? And then what do you think it's for sale for? Come on, people. Jeff, take a guess.
I don't know. I kind of remember people making lamps out of those, like hanging lamps out of those in restaurants, but I don't understand why you'd want one.
All right. Tennessee says 7. Sly Fox guessed 150. Caillou says 100. Brendan says make a damn lamp out of it. David says $10, no pickup. Susan says $2.50 for the puffer. Oh, and it hurts looking at it, says Gina. It is $1.
Sounds about right.
$1. But once again, who's gonna list something? Take time. So somebody goes, "Are you around at 2? I'm gonna come out. I want to buy your puffer," and the person cancels all their plans. Are they lonely to meet people, or I don't know? It's just interesting.
Better to do. I don't know. Either.
I don't know, but I get a kick out of it. And I get it. Some people don't want to throw anything away, and They just would rather put a buck on it. Why not just give it away? All right. Photo K. Photo K.
Ah, lovely.
Me and Jeff like to do motorcycle restorations, right, Jeff?
Very much so.
And I think this thing's pretty hopeless.
Yeah, that's a lost cause there.
That's lost cause. Look at this seat. I've never seen a seat in that bad. It's just the foam is even rusting. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. That could be yard art, I guess.
I was just gonna say that's all that's good for. I don't think there's a single salvageable part there. Salvageable part. That's yard art right there.
Yeah, and it says no. This is where it gets me. A nice little mini bike, guys. Nice, he says, with minimal rust. Swear to God.
Ad says minimal rust.
Minimal rust.
Wow.
Yep, and yeah, you can get that running in no time. And I believe now this one I did not write the price down, but I believe it was $100. Positive, $100.
That's barely scrap metal at this point.
Wow. Okay, it gets worse, people. It gets way worse. Throw up photo L.
Coming up.
There's a lot of this going on. Okay. This is no doubt a very heavy pile, I think. I see a boat anchor there for one, and there's some other unidentifiable, God knows. It says, heavy pile of rusted metal, only $2. There you go. Just heavy pile of rusted metal you can go buy for $2. All right.
At that point, you want to pay somebody to take it away. Wouldn't that make more sense?
But is that
$5?
That's a trick to get someone to clean out their garage. That's a trick. All right, go to the next one. Photo M.
Photo M. Looks like, huh?
That is the inside of a car, and I believe it's some type of a Ford. I believe.
Yeah, it looks like a Ford Dash, like a big Galaxy Dash.
And now I want people to guess. What is this car worth? You see the inside. You can only imagine what the outside looks like. What do you think this is worth? Logically Insane said the last one included a mailbox stand, or could be used as a mailbox stand. So
that's a good idea, actually.
Yep. Susan guessed $70 on the mini bike. That wasn't bad. It's a good guess. Anyhow, how much come on, Jeff, guess on this car.
Without knowing what the car, I mean, it looks like somebody did some work to it.
I think it's an old Galaxy or something like that.
That's like a Galaxy or an LTD. Yeah,
something like that. Go ahead.
I mean, it looks like they replaced the floor at some point. So it was a car that somebody thought was worth saving. I don't know. People are crazy what they ask for old cars. They think everything's worth a fortune.
Yes.
$500.
Okay, you can have this mint pristine car for only $3,400. So if you're interested in buying a project for your hubby to keep them out of your hair, this is the one to buy.
You'll keep them busy for a while.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't. God, where would you even start on such a thing? All right, Photo N. It gets worse. Like I said, this is going to get worse. Photo N. Or you can get this, you can splurge instead of the car. You can get this organized pile of valuable stuff, apparently. Anybody want to guess what the person wants for this pile? There's actually a price on the pile.
Let's clarify. Someone is trying to sell that.
Yes.
And you're sure they're not offering money to take it away?
Nope, I don't think so. They want to sell that pile.
Wow.
$200. $200.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's $200.
All right, take that away for $200.
Go to Photo O. All right. Now this gets interesting. Yeah, I mean the stove maybe could. I think that's an old wood stove. Could have a little value. But it's the fact there's a skull sitting on top of it that makes it really creepy, right?
Yeah, that's an unusual touch.
It's like, well, I don't think they put it there. They just didn't remove it.
It was there already, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, they did pose it for the photo. It was just there. They didn't bother moving it.
There. Yeah, and I don't remember the price of this. I don't think I even wrote it down. I just like, whoa. It's another one of those piles, for $100 you can come get.
I don't understand.
All right, Photo P. Jeff, I know this will be your favorite. I'm sure you had one of these when you were a kid.
I did not have a chia pet. My brother had one.
I bought one for my kids once.
Yeah.
It was probably in the dollar pile at a Walmart. Maybe I bought it for Alex. And of course, the chia seeds died immediately. They started to sprout and then died. But this is a very special Weird Al Yankovic chia pet.
Yeah.
And I want people to guess on this one. I really do. So how much do you think a Weird Al Yankovic chia pet is? Come on, someone's got to guess. Jeff, take a guess.
$5. I mean, how can it be? Yeah, that was kind of a thing. Do you remember? Do you remember when it was growing? My brother got one. It was like a gag gift.
Yeah.
And the thing that you don't find out about chia pets till you have one, they smell terrible. You rub this goo on there for the plants to grow on, and it's basically a manure blend. The thing stunk up the whole house. It was terrible.
Oh my God. Okay, Sly Fox says $69.99. Russell Johnson $11.99. Caillou says $15. And Chia had $2 from Susan. It's her guess. Russell Johnson says $11.99. No one's hit it yet. Nobody's gotten the price right. Jeff didn't either.
No, I guess $5. I have no idea.
It is.
I mean, what was it? It's brand new. It was probably $20 at most. Those weren't. I don't know.
So Foot Clan says now they sell chia seeds and tell people that they are health food. So there we go. It's $15.
Yeah, what a bargain.
$15. Okay. Excuse me. I'm drinking root beer. That's like the dumbest thing you can do while you're on a mic. Okay. Photo Q. What in the world could go wrong here? This is listed as a very realistic tumbling tin monkey.
Realistic. Oh, sure. Very realistic.
Yes, tumbling monkey.
So lifelike.
Lifelike.
Yeah.
No, I ain't going to say the price, but what could go wrong here? I mean, I guess you could collect that. It's just so beyond ugly, right?
Some people like that stuff.
Really? Do you think so?
Yeah, I actually dated a girl who loved collecting just the weirdest, ugliest, strangest.
Really?
That would go right in her collection.
But you're not with her anymore. You're not with her.
No, I didn't date her very long.
All right, let's hear some prices on this. Come on, guys. I think Caillou is saying $3. Only guess on the ugly monkey. Shannon says that's creepy. Yep, it is. Monkey, $12, she says. That's from Susan. Brandon B says Pee Wee Herman would like that. Sly Fox at $7. Foot Clan says $9.99. Gina Production says 10. Jeff, what do you say? No one's guessed it right.
$5. I don't know. I wouldn't pay. I mean,
Jeff says everything's $5, so I'm not going to.
I just don't see any value in this stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm amazed that anyone would bother trying to sell it, but whatever.
Yeah. So I should have asked, what would you pay for it? Caillou said $8. David says ugly, $5. They want $20. And what could go wrong here is my opinion.
No, I don't think
looks
so.
looks like a tetanus shot waiting to happen. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. All right, throw up photo R. Enough of the monkey.
Whoa.
Now, first off, you're going to think, what in the hell is this thing doing? This is a big deal. This thing's expensive. Like, oh my God, I was shocked. This is a ventriloquist doll dummy head aluminum foundry mold. So apparently you can make more plastic dummy heads from this foundry mold, right?
That actually makes sense, sure.
And it's about 9 inches ear to ear and, like 7, 8, 9, 10 inches tall. They want, can anybody want to guess what this is, what they're asking for this thing? And they don't even say really what you're going to do with it. They say it's a foundry mold, but it doesn't say it's a working tool that you could make more heads out of.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough.
Doesn't say anything. Okay, so let's look at some here. Chain of production says 5,000. Selena Garrett says 3,000. Caillou goes 499. This one I like. I like this comment.
Yeah.
Or no, it's where is it? This stuff's going on so quick I can't catch it. I'm looking. Oh yeah, there we go. Sharon says, "Looks like you can crack nuts." Yeah. And then Foot Clan says $50. I like it. And David says it's $750, people.
Wow.
So you feel free to make him an offer for $699 and see if he'll bite. All right, enough of that crap. Ugh. Photo S. Jeff, would you wear this? Would you wear this?
Yeah, that's an accurate opinion there. I couldn't get, I'm a pretty adventurous eater. I'll try anything, but lutefisk I couldn't get past.
Yeah.
It's a potent odor, the potent smell that I just,
I won't eat it. I've never tried it. Never will.
No.
It's fish cooked in it's like corned fish in some kind of a creamy sauce. It's basically raw fish cooked in lye.
Yeah.
Just like they cook corned beef and basically an acid. No thanks. But anyhow, so this lutefisk t-shirt that's seen much better days. Obviously, it's pretty yellowed. They want how much? Come on, guys. Susan says $10. Foot Clan says he's never heard of this, basically. So you wouldn't want it then. It's kind of a thing up here in Minnesota, though, right?
Yeah, it's a northern Minnesota thing for sure. It's Scandinavian. It's a Scandinavian thing.
I went to
a lot of Scandinavians here in Minnesota.
I went to the Mystic Lake Resort, and it was on buffet. It was during back when they had buffets. And they had a huge Sunday, Thanksgiving or whatever the hell was it, buffet. And we were there like the day before Thanksgiving. And they had this giant tub of lutefisk, and people were just in line to get it, man.
Nope. I'll pass.
So I bet you that shirt probably smells like lutefisk.
I don't think you can ever get that smell out.
So if anybody wants to buy this for your husband or your sister or your enemy, that'd be a good thing to do. That's it.
All right.
I don't think we let anybody down with these ads. Do you?
Pretty strange stuff. I don't like you said, I don't understand why it'd be worth your time to sell or buy something that's $3. What I don't understand.
Yeah. It's just so weird. But the point is, if you're going to sell something, sell it for something that we can just do a better job marketing.
Right.
So if you're going to post an ad on Marketplace, do a good job,
It's amazing.
Don't put a skull on the wood stove before you try to market it.
I mean, how many bikes have we looked at? They want $5-6 grand for them, and the pictures are terrible. Like they don't. Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at cars. They're in the $25,000-$30,000 range. That pictures are just terrible. Like, do you really want to sell this or not? I don't get it.
Yeah. No. I don't get it. Don't know. I think a lot of people are under the impression that when you put an ad in, like millions of people will see it, millions of people will flock to you, and people will just buy anything. I don't know. Sharon says, people buy rubbish. I see it here often in Belgium. Oh, are you from Belgium, Sharon? Wow.
An international viewer. That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Anyhow, I've been to Belgium once, many years ago in the 70s. I was in Belgium. I had I'm trying to think. Well, one, I remember it was very beautiful. And I was on my way to Holland, driving to Holland to get to the beach which I wanted to see the ocean for the first time. And of course, I saw the Holland beach before I saw any beach in the U.S. here. So there you go. That's my
Belgium.
Belgium.
Holland. I have not been to Belgium, but I've been to Holland.
Yeah. Well, you should try driving through Belgium in the middle of the night trying to get to Holland.
I can't imagine.
Without GPS, without any phone, without anything. Oh my God, that was an adventure. I had some
Hard to fathom that anymore with traveling or any kind of trip without the internet or cell phones. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was a teenager too.
Sure.
You know, I didn't even know if I was legal to drive, but the rental company rented me a car. So, you know, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, let's get into some news. Mr. Jeff.
Some news.
Yes.
You want to run those bumpers first?
Yeah.
The ads?
Yeah. Oh, you want to do that now?
Well,
sure.
That's where you
go
had it in
ahead.
the script.
All right, let's do that.
Hey, Untold Radio Network fans. Want exclusive perks and to support our channel? Introducing our YouTube membership program with 3 amazing levels. Get loyalty badges that level up to different cryptids the longer you're a supporter. How cool is that? You'll also get access to custom Bigfoot emojis and priority in chat. Upgrade to Backstage Pass for exclusive wallpapers, photos, status updates, discounted books, and merchandise. Go all in with the producer level for everything mentioned plus member shoutouts. Ready for an enhanced experience? Join now, pick your membership level, and let's make this journey even more exciting together.
Waiting for Doug. I can say something about that. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think I might have played the first. I think I played the wrong ad, the first one, but the second one, the Freeman book. I have that book, and I actually got it before I met you. That book is phenomenal. I cannot recommend that book highly enough. It's one of the best, certainly one of the best ones that Hangar One has, and it has. You call it the IBT technology. It's got what that book has is little QR codes in it. So when you're reading in the book, there's a little QR code. You scan that with your phone, and it'll bring up the video and or audio that they're talking about. There's a ton of them in there. I've seen your server. It's on your private server at Hangar One's Publishing, so it's always going to be there.
Yep.
If you're going to have a book on Freeman or Bigfoot or anything, it's a great book. There's so much cool stuff in there.
Yep.
I just can't say enough about it. Great book.
It was like 50 years in the making, that book.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Great book.
Yeah.
And I just cannot say enough about that QR code in there. Having those immediate links to all the videos is so cool. So it's just, I mean, it's a game changer. There's nothing else like it. There's no other book like it. It's incredible. So highly recommend.
One of the most interesting things about the book, I think, that I appreciate is Paul's diary.
Yes.
His entire audio diary that he recorded over many years, got a hold of it and included it in order from the very beginning of the book to the end. And when you listen to this book and understand how hard Paul Freeman worked at research, you get a new respect for him.
For sure. That guy worked. He put a lot of work into it. And that book is a labor of love by his son. It's such a cool book. Just so much cool stuff in there. Yeah, it's great. I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Patrick had an interesting question I threw up. It says, question for Doug. How does science explain rock throws with no humans around other than those that witnessed it? Well, I think they can throw them from a long ways away, and I don't think you have to see them, because I've seen rocks come out of the forest and land right near me. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't thrown by a Bigfoot. Doesn't mean it was thrown by a Bigfoot. But I've been in some pretty remote areas where I've had, rocks thrown. All right, but let's get on with our news.
The news.
Save your questions from as we get up here a little closer to our guest. Go ahead. Let's do.
Untold radio news that can be a bit weird is right now.
UFOs are back in the news. Throw up photo 1, Jeff. So this was a really interesting sighting, and this comes from mainstream news, where their photographer, I believe it was their helicopter, their traffic helicopter, filmed it. So a mysterious orb seen floating over the Hudson River sparks debate, right? And there has been some experts that have weighed in on it. I don't buy into what the experts are saying. I've studied the footage. Let's go ahead and play it, and then I'll read the article. So if you've got that video, you can play.
A news helicopter incidentally captured a mysterious orb-like object zooming over the Hudson River and past Lower Manhattan.
I think there's footage of it, Jeff.
Yep. Yeah.
I had to get to that. Oh, here we go. You want to skip ahead and try to find the footage, Jeff, before people fall asleep? There we go. That's all I wanted to see. See if we can loop that a couple times. I love it because I've seen that exact color orb. It's just beautiful blue.
Fast over the water, very close to the water.
All right, that's enough. That just gets into some other UAPs. All right. It says, you can throw that picture back up here. It says a New York City local news broadcast inadvertently aired footage of what appears to be a mysterious blue orb floating over the Hudson River this week. Okay, and it says nobody knows exactly what to do, what to make of it. And it says, while some are convinced that the object appears to be unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, some more earthly explanations seem more plausible. Okay. So I believe like Avi Loeb had mentioned it's something on the window. And I studied it. There's no way that's something on the window. That's just my feelings about it. And apparently they were airing, footage of the congestion over the river and what's a traffic helicopter. But anyhow, that's there's a whole lot of stuff. Obviously could be a balloon. I'd maybe buy into that other than the glow. There were some other explanations, but I just suggest you look it up, study it if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeff?
It's pretty interesting footage. A lot of those, it sure seems like it could be an artifact or something in the lens, but a lot of them are kind of unexplainable. Who knows? Yeah.
Well, when you've seen one yourself, it doesn't seem that fantastic.
Sure.
But when people haven't seen one, I kind of get it. They're just like, it just can't be. It just can't be. But when you see one like me and Yvette saw one, we saw one over the intersection, about the same size. And it was probably maybe 150, 200 feet above the intersection. Bright blue. You could see the core of it, which was really interesting. And it did this amazing, like a U-turn, and then went the other direction.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's not a balloon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see a U-turn and then it zips off, you're going, okay. So that's why I believe it is real. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next article. NASA, apparently it says in the article, could force, I don't know how they're going to force them, to force SpaceX to fly a Toyota to the moon. And there's the concept vehicle, and they call it the lunar cruiser, right?
And they want SpaceX to get it there.
They want, and it says they're going to force them to. I don't know how they're going to quite do that, but apparently this has all been plagued by delays, spiraling cost, which means it could now fall into private firms like SpaceX to take us back to the surface of the moon. Do you think that's going to happen soon, Jeff?
Yes, I think if anyone can do it, Elon can. He's kind of embarrassing the government in a lot of ways. So who knows? He sure seems to be able to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
If he wants to get to the moon, he's going to get to the moon.
So apparently this vehicle, and it says it won't be one assembled by Tesla. So apparently they're going to I'm reading this article. They may use a company called Blue Origin to return astronauts to the moon. Also, SpaceX and Blue Origin have been tasked with developing the lunar landers that can deliver huge loads onto the surface of the moon. And apparently India is also really getting into the space race. Photo 3, Jeff. Apparently India is chasing NASA with its own plans just to orbit the moon with a space station. It's hard to believe India doing this, but I guess they
want to set up a station orbiting the moon.
Yeah, well, India is an interesting country because a lot of the country is very low tech, right?
Yeah.
Very third world. And the other part of it is extremely advanced. They have a lot of technology. So
China's the same way.
China's the same way, yep. So apparently they're calling, let's see here. I'm just looking, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to bore you. So apparently they want this thing orbiting the moon by 2028. A mere 3 years from now, basically. They want to mirror NASA's planned getaway station. And says, while current timetables have Gateway's first module launched by 2027, any further delays or an outright cancellation would have India beating the U.S. I don't think Elon will let that happen.
Not if you don't. Yeah, probably not.
I could be wrong. All right. Then we have
on Mars, though.
NASA apparently just released a new stunning image of the Sombrero Galaxy. Have you ever heard of this?
Wow. Yeah.
The Sombrero Galaxy. I have not heard of this. And the James Webb has seen a lot of really cool things. So,
well, it's interesting that a lot of these things were named based on much lower resolution images. Like the original image of that, I think, is from the 60s. And it looks more like a sombrero. And now that you get a better picture, doesn't look the original picture of that looks a lot different.
It looks flat now.
Yeah. But the original picture, it looks a lot more like a sombrero. It's the name. There's a lot of celestial bodies like that the better we see them, the names just aren't matching up anymore.
So they also call this the Messier 104.
Messier.
Messier.
Messier objects. Yeah, Messier was an observer that he cataloged everything that was visible. So pretty much everything that was visible to the naked eye at that time. Somebody's going to correct me. I'm not exactly sure, but the Messier objects are all stuff that are pretty easily visible. So
apparently they have catalogs. Apparently they have a new infrared view, and it says it no longer truly resembles its namesake. Yep. It looks more like an archery target now.
Oh, did it say that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was right. Yeah. That's good.
Yep.
I'm not just talking out of my butt once. It's good.
Well, they're claiming the middle is actually a massive black hole.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All right. Next. Jeff's just like Alex. He likes to hit those pictures. That's okay.
My finger flinched. I had my finger on the copy paste button here, and I flinched. That's all.
4,000-year-old pre-Mayan fish trapping facility was found here, right? And apparently it fed 15,000 people. So they had canals built, and they were trapping fish that were coming up the canal from the ocean. So this is a pre-Mayan system of canals used to direct and catch fish. And they found this in Belize. And I'm surprised. It looks like that part of the rainforest has been cleared. And that's how they found it. Obviously, there's a lot of farming going on down there now.
There's a lot of stuff being found with LiDAR, ground penetrating radar. That's all kinds of new stuff's being found in the last couple of years. Stuff that's nobody had any clues even there in the rainforest.
Did you know there's a lot of Amish moving to Belize and clearing the forest and setting up ranches and farms?
Really? I did not know that. That's interesting.
And apparently a lot of them are getting kidnapped. They go down there. Oh, man, it's just nuts. Yeah, they get kidnapped from I'm not even going to say what country. They get kidnapped and they get held for ransom and they get returned safe after the ransom's paid.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're going to have some guts to go farming down in Belize, I can tell you.
Yeah. No, thanks.
All right. Next, we have an insanely bright light burst from a black hole. Now, why would there be a light burst from a black hole? The scientists do not know. They are shocked by what they saw. So apparently it says astronomers have identified 2 giant black holes causing strange flashes of light at about 1 billion light years away from Earth. Isn't that crazy? We can see this crap 1 billion light years away. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Doesn't make sense.
And if it's 1 billion light years away, it's ancient. That happened a long time ago.
Oh,
it's
God.
a long time for that light to get here. So
yeah. So
it might not even be there anymore.
It says the flashes of light bursts are occurring at regular intervals. But what's causing them is more surprising. The researchers suggest that the black hole pair is swirling within a vast cloud of gas, and their interaction with the gas cloud is actually sparking the unusual flashes, making it as a first observation of its kind. That's enough of that crap. There you go.
Weird.
So then another headline, Curiosity, a lot of space crap. Curiosity cracked open a rock. All right, that's the little explorers cracked open a rock on Mars, and they found a big surprise inside. Pure sulfur.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
They call it the yellow treasure after Curiosity accidentally cracked it through its unremarkable. So it was apparently a very unremarkable rock. It cracked open and revealed what was inside. And so apparently it says, when it rolled over a 1,982 pound body. I didn't know that thing weighs that much.
I didn't either.
Holy crap, that's heavy.
Yeah.
It's almost a ton. Anyhow, so it rolled over, it cracked it, it broke open, revealing yellow crystals of elemental sulfur and brimstone. So apparently it kind of proves there was water there.
Mm-hmm.
So enough of that. All right. It's why scientists think Earth may be tilted 31.5 inches and what that could mean. Yeah. Apparently they're saying some scientists are raising their eyebrows saying that, and they're claiming Earth is tilted. That's quite a bit, 31 inches. I guess it's not much in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
But they're saying this could be a problem. It could have significant implications, and they're thinking that it's because we're pumping out excessive groundwater, so it's getting off balance. Make sense?
Yeah, sure.
You buying it?
There's a lot going. Well, are you aware that the magnetic poles are always moving?
Yeah.
And the drift of that has increased a lot in the last 10, 15, 20 years. It's drifting at a really high rate. So because it's strange stuff going on.
I just don't think it's human activity. See, that's where I differ.
No,
I don't think.
I mean,
there's so many factors,
floating.
Jeff. There's sun, there's all these planets and moon and this and that. I don't think pumping water is going to affect the tilt of the Earth, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, the surface of the Earth isn't really connected to the core of the Earth. It's floating on magma, so it's not solid. We're not solidly attached to the core of the Earth, so lots of stuff can happen.
Because I guess groundwater doesn't really go away. I mean, it's just goes right. It's replenished constantly, and so I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
All right, that's what they think. So don't drink any water, and the Earth will go back. It'll tilt right back into place. All right, next, let's do Are You Be the Judge? It's one of my favorite things to look at footage that may or may not be real. Go ahead.
Okay. Whoop, hold on 1 second. I got lost here. Hold on 1 second.
Right.
There we go.
Attention to the lower right-hand corner.
Okay.
You're going to see something come into the field of view that
This
looks
is
like,
interesting.
you guessed it, a white cylinder object in the daytime sky that just cruises across the freeway. See the shadow over here? Leaves a shadow on the ground that tells us the sun was up here in the upper left-hand part of the field of view, and the shadows are consistent on the craft. You can see the dark side of the craft is over here on the right, same side as the shadow on the ground, so it's definitely there, whatever it may be. Looks like the other cylinders that we saw in the other locations, Indiana, Las Vegas, and Michigan. But this view here was up closer, actually above the craft, looking down from the sky. If I had to guess, I'd say that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 feet long. Has some sort of weird features coming off of
All
the
right, that's
sky.
enough.
They don't look like they're moving.
This guy, he's just, it's enough. Anyhow, so what do you guys think? I think it's probably real because it is apparently satellite footage. And I was with Adam when we saw a craft that looked similar to that. It looked like a crossword puzzle piece. It's the best way I can describe it.
Where'd you see
and
that?
That's kind of what that reminds me of. So I'm saying it's probably real. More likely than not.
Well, it's something. I mean, I believe that it's definitely an object there. I mean, it's not.
Well, I know, but you're supposed to pick. Is it misidentified or is it a UAP?
Well, it's definitely a UAP. It's an area phenomena that we have not identified. So by definition, it's a UAP.
All right. What do people think here?
Is that a smart?
Randall says, I don't care about this stuff. Put Flatrock on. We are here in a very short time. Flatrock just joined us.
Yep, he's ready to go backstage.
Alien drone. All right. Next is let's jump to clip 3. I find this one really interesting. Saw it recently. I think maybe I've seen it before, but maybe not. Clip 3 is apparently 2 Bigfoots walking in Yellowstone National Park. So it's either 2 Bigfoots or it's 2 people hiking.
There.
It's too bad they're so damn small.
Yeah.
They seem like they're moving pretty damn quick, though, don't they?
Yeah.
And they seem awful big for that far away.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put most of my vote in there. Could be Bigfoots. Besides, I think people, if they were hiking, they would be closer together.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's say maybe they're in the middle of a fight. They don't like each other. Who knows? it's a husband and wife. Who knows?
That's unlikely. So what's Sly Fox said they're 3 miles away. 2 Bigfoot hiking. Yeah, I don't know.
They
Obviously,
do look pretty big.
We're never going to know for sure.
No, they look big and they don't look like they have any kind of backpack or anything
Yeah.
like that. So it's odd.
Yeah. So anyhow, well,
Yeah.
that's it for you to be the judge. I'm thinking both of those were authentic.
Could be.
Be nice to know
What's
though
up?
for sure. We never will know. Never,
Yeah.
never can know on footage or still
Yeah.
pictures.
No.
Never, never, never. What time is it here?
It is 8:00 Central.
All right.
8:02.
Well, let's go ahead and let's bring Flatrock on, and he can help us out
Okay.
with some of this other stuff.
He looks ready, and here he comes. Hello,
There he is.
Flatrock. You're
Can you
on.
hear us? Can you?
There
Yeah.
we go. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, there
Yep.
we go. We can
We
hear
hear
you
you.
now. So,
There we go.
are you at your property right now?
Yes.
You are. So you
Yeah, I
do.
live out here.
Yeah. So you have internet and you have good cell service or something we're dependent on to even bring you here.
Decent. It's decent. Not great, but decent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit and just describe your property, Flatrock, as best you can, in as short
right.
as you can. But like about any waterways and just
Yeah.
what's there.
Yeah. Well, we live on 25 acres. We have a creek about 100 yards out my front door. Got a spring on the other side, that way in my front door, and a river about I'd say a quarter mile through the woods.
So lots of water.
Yeah, lots of water.
Do you think like I do that that's probably why they're there, because you're all of the water
Yeah,
sources?
it is. It is. Once I started, looking up these creatures, once I realized what they were, and only place I knew to go to was the BFRO website, and on the BFRO website, there's actually two Class A sightings on the river. One at this bridge on my left, and one on my right. They were two Class A sightings on both bridges between my property.
Very, very cool. So when did you? I don't even know how you acquired the property, but why don't you just? I'm sure it happened like most people that find property, you get lucky, right?
Yeah,
And
lucky.
obviously, you probably lucked out really good. It's probably one of the luckiest things that's happened to you. But how did you? Were you looking for a bunch of property? How did you come about
we
it?
were looking for property. Mostly for my mom to get her out of Panama City. We had recently lost her dad, in 2010, and she was having issues. So we started going looking for property, and we stopped from county to county, and we just happened to come up through here and turn down this dinky little road, where there's a big old forest, and come down this road, and this guy, had a for sale sign out there, and we pulled in, and the land was reasonably cheap. It was only $2,200 an acre, and we jumped all over it, and that's how we ended up acquiring this land.
Very cool. How long was it that after you moved in or whatever, or was it even before you moved in, did you notice there was some weird going on over there?
There was. My mom was the first one out here while I was back home dealing with cancer. And she is having somebody come up and banging on her house. Well, it's not a house. She was living in a fifth wheel at the time. And they just kept coming banging on the house. She'd give me a call saying somebody banging on her house at night. And, it happened to few times to her, and I told her one time when something was actually tapping on her window, she had called me as this was happening, and you could hear the tapping over the phone, and I kept telling her, Mom, look out, it's probably just a kid playing games on you, you know, because I don't know nothing about this area, you know, and she wouldn't never look outside, but you know, once they banged on her house that last time after the tapping, and it stopped for about an hour, she grabbed up her dogs and took back off to Florida where we was at for a couple of days.
So she got spooked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh geez.
But at the whole time we were thinking it was people.
Why do you think that they were tapping, banging?
I don't know.
Banging it.
I don't know.
That's one of the biggest mysteries. If they're, you know, they love to stay hidden,
yeah.
But yet they kind of want to get your attention at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they want to do it without contact, you know, because obviously you can't see them, they can't see you. You don't know what they're tapping and running. Do you think they do that, hit and run? That's what I always think.
They were doing that. They do it. They even did it to my house once I moved here. You know, but they was one, you know, he was a big brown one. And be honest with you, he didn't care who seen him. He come out at daytime. He did not care. You know, and I had to report him to the game warden. And after I reported him and some things happened, you know, he was never seen again.
Yeah, I've just, have you, like in the beginning, you obviously, I'm just guessing you had no experience with Bigfoot at all, ever. No sightings, no, maybe just a passing interest like most of us have.
No, I never believed in them.
You didn't even believe? Oh, okay. So you're a skeptic, didn't have it. You just thought, bunch of bull crap. You move in there, you buy the stuff, your mom starts having issues. What was your first issue where you actually went, you know, where you were really puzzled?
All right. When I was first puzzled, I come up here, you know, to go hunting, I think in 2017. And I was over at my mom's house. I wasn't even living here yet. But me and my brother were going to go hunting that morning. And I'm sound asleep, and next thing I know, it was three hard bangs at the side of the wall. And I jumped up. I was thinking it was my brother, you know, trying to get me up to go hunting. I walked to the door, you know, and looked out that triangle window, and I'm looking around and I don't see nothing. So I opened the door and saying it was still pitch dark. Now I looked at the clock and it was still only 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. And so, I mean, cause we don't got to walk far to go hunting. It's just right here in the right here on this property, you know, to go hunting. We don't got to go far. And that was the first weird thing, but still, I was still believing it was people doing it. But then after I did move here, I was staying in an RV, and you know, my dog, he would run up and down the driveway barking all night long, just all night long. And then one day, I was at the door, I was calling him, and a big old rock come right out of the woods.
How big?
And hit him in the back of the leg.
Ooh.
And when I look at him, he was yelping and he was spinning like a car had hit him. You know how a dog spins when a car hits a dog or something? He was just spinning and yelping. And he run up in the house. He wasn't even an inside dog yet, but he ended up running into the house. But, you know, he couldn't hardly walk for about a week after he got hit. You know, and again, I'm thinking that's a dude, a hunter maybe, you know, just that hit my dog. And I walked over there, and that's where I found the rock, you know, that hit him. And I still got that rock today, you know, 'cause I was going to actually throw the thing back at the dude that hit my dog, you know, but of course, never did.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's a black lab.
Okay. So he's got good hunting instincts.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Did he? Okay, when he bark, would he be looking towards the forest? Would he be wanting to get in the house, or what?
Well, what he does now, when I have people over here, even when nobody's over here but me and my wife, and we're sitting outside and we're just talking, sitting around a campfire or something, when he smells something or hears something, he'll take off toward the wood line and he'll stop before he gets there. He'll start growling, barking, you know, and there's a few audios where you can actually hear him barking at these creatures. And he just lets us know they're out there, you know, when they come close. That's the only thing he's barking at. He ain't barking at deer. He ain't barking at coons. He ain't barking at no little critters. He ain't barking at people. He's only barking at them critters every time. That's the only thing he's barking at. The only thing. Now, I tell you about it. He might bark, you know, just a little bit when you hear them old big old pack of coyotes come by. He might bark a couple of times on it, but nothing like he does with these critters. Nothing like these.
Is there any growling in those barks? Does he kind of growl too?
Yeah, he does growl. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I had some researchers over here in October, Pat, Joe, Bud, and Angie.
Yeah.
And
I know them.
We was sitting by the camper at the table and all, just sitting around talking. And Boo, he's sound asleep right there in front of us. And he just gets up out of a dead sleep, starts walking toward that wood line. And, you know, he's in a point stance. And next thing you know, he starts growling and he starts barking and getting, just going nuts on it. And Bud, he grabs his thermal. Angie grabs the night vision. And they start looking because they were going to test Boo, you know, because Boo, you know, Boo does that the only time he does that. So they was testing and they actually caught something on thermal that night. You know, Angie actually says she's seen something big, you know, and they tried to debunk it. And they said it ended up where that mark was on that tree where she said she's seen it was between 6.5 and 7.5, somewhere up in there, I believe is what they said. But Bud, he actually caught something on thermal that night right here behind the house.
Yeah, and Bud there is no way Bud would ever lie. He's just not that kind of guy.
No.
You just
Bud, he is straight. You know, he likes to debunk everything.
Yeah,
he will debunk it to the very last thing. That's why I like him.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right. And he won't he won't make up stuff to debunk things.
No.
But he's kind of extremely serious.
Yeah.
I've gone on 2 trips with Bud now. And he is as serious as they get. He's also very brave.
Yeah.
And no, he's definitely the kind of researcher you want to go out in the field with, for sure.
Yeah.
So anything Bud's going to say, he's certainly not going to exaggerate it.
Yeah. I mean, he's just like the Squatching Cowboy, Joe Pass.
Yeah.
Joe Pass, he's straight down the road too. You know, he'll actually try, if he sees a dark spot in the woods, he'll actually go to it. You know, because you know how a lot of people say, you know, there's a booger right there in the woods, but all really they're seeing is just that dark spot in the woods.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about Joe Pass, he'll go straight to it. And that's what I like about Joe.
Yeah, it's silly to take a photo of a dark spot and say, well, it's a Bigfoot, when 9 times out of 10, it's just an old, what would you call it, black mold all over a log or upturned roots or some damn thing.
Right.
Because these woods are so thick, it's easy to just misidentify what you're seeing.
For sure.
Jeff, you got any? Why don't you ask a question here?
Well, you've done a pretty good job of answering my questions before I ask them. Golly, I don't know what else to ask.
Well, I'm curious about, the progression, I guess. Okay, so we have the dog growling. You've had bangs on your home. You're skeptical. All this stuff. The dog is pretty much going nuts, and I take it it's not in the dog's character to bark. Like some little dogs will just go crazy. Labs don't do that, right?
Mm-mm.
They bark when they need to. They don't bark they're barking to warn you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the incident or the buildup to you going, oh, maybe there is something to the Bigfoot mystery?
The buildup, Mr. Bob, he moved up. We've had him move up here because, he lost a lot during the hurricane as well, during Hurricane Michael back in Florida. So we moved him up here. So, and one July 4th, we was eating supper over at Mom's house, cooking out. And later that night, right before it got dark, he called me and said he just seen somebody cross the yard. And so we went looking for him. Of course, we got our guns because we know we're way back here in the woods. And we couldn't find him. So we got back up on the back porch and we was talking. Next thing you know, I heard some rustling over in the wood line off to the side of the house. So I asked Bob, "Did you hear that?" And he said no. And by the time that happened, we heard that he actually heard the rustling. We both did. So we walked over there. We knew we had found the dude. And we walked over. I told him, we know you're in there. Come on out. He didn't come out. Didn't answer. Told him again, come on out. We know you're in there. Still no answer. So I told him, since you're not going to answer us, just keep walking through these woods. Get your tail back out on the road. Don't never come back through here. And next thing you know, Bob shot a bullet up in the air. Well, that night, I couldn't tell you exactly what time. It was between 11 and 2 o'clock. We're all asleep. And next thing you know, you hear this banging, yelling, ripping stuff up. And, we're thinking it's a bunch of people that just come out, after Bob shot that bullet off. And I'm sitting there because I'm by myself in my home. I don't know if my mom was hearing it. She's in another home because it was behind a new home of my mom's that she just got. And we was just moving stuff over there. It was loaded up on the back porch. And you could actually I could hear the boxes ripping back there. Something was just ripping those boxes up. But, we never figured out what it was. Law enforcement was called. We didn't see nothing. Nothing could be said. But they said they'd come by and just check on the property, even though they're like 16 to 18 miles away from here. So I figured it'd be a county that done it. And, but nothing never come of it. But that's how it all started. But when I first seen one, I went over to my mom's to be talking to her. And I walked on the back porch, smoked a cigarette. And I can hear Mr. Bobby, which was my mom's boyfriend at the time, working on the cook shack up front. And I happened to look over to my left. And I see this big old black thing right there in the woods. I didn't know what it was at the time. It was just big and black but it was standing over the bushes out here. And it started slowly turning. Man, it was turning toward me. I mean, real slow. I'm talking real slow. And finally it got to where I was seeing its eyes. And, you know, even though I heard about Bigfoot, I never believed in Bigfoot. But once I seen it, I knew what it was. And the immense size of that thing, all I could do is just drop my head and just start cussing. You know, that's all I could do is just drop my head. I mean, I was scared to death. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing that big before. So I was just trying to get back in the house because there's nothing between me and it other than that bush and me sitting on that porch. And no, all I want to do is get back in the house. You know, that's all I want to do. But that was that first time I ever seen one. Wasn't fun seeing it, but I just never believed they were real, but they were real.
Do you think that you were seeing it from the back or the front?
I think I was seeing it from it was actually like this, and I'm sitting behind it. So it's looking like this toward Mr. Bobby working on the cook shack. He was actually, you can actually hear Bob nailing down the tin roof to the cook shack. And then I guess it noticed or smelt my cigarette or something. And that's when it started turning toward me, you know, because I didn't make no noise, you know, but it was there. And then it started turning and it looked right at me. I dropped my head. You know? Was
that emotional for you at that time?
It wasn't emotional. It was more fear-based, if you ask me. I mean, fear is an emotion, so I reckon so.
Yeah, okay. But you were feeling something. I just, it's quite a transition from going from skeptic to believer. Were you at that point convinced they were real?
Yeah. Now my brother, he actually said he walked up on one. I wasn't even moved out here yet. And he got turned around in the woods. He was going to go to the river and come back. And he got turned around and it was getting dark on him. And he had phoned me up and we went down this little logging road that comes out my yard right here and goes in there beside the lease. And we was in there beeping the horn, trying to work him out. The only light he had was from a cell phone. That's the only light he had to, you know, work his way through. Well, he said he was walking, you know, and he walked up on something that was real large that was standing right there in front of him. And, you know, he said, you know, it scared the else out of him. So he backed out and he got back to us finally. And he said, Jenny, I seen something big back there. I think it might have been a Bigfoot. Of course, I laughed at him. You know, I shouldn't have, but I did. And I ended up getting a foot put in my mouth, and I kind of proudly wear that foot in my mouth every day. You know, because he was right. I was wrong.
Yeah. By the way, I was going to mention, anybody in chat, we really want your questions, put them in caps. And then as we need questions or we want to get to a bunch of your questions, we can scroll through chat and pick them out really quick then and start asking some of your great questions. So yeah, please. And if you've already are curious about something, just retype it again in caps. And do you mind if we interrupt you once in a while and ask you a question from a thing? Yeah. And some people have asked about pictures and videos, and I'm going to direct people right to your website, your Facebook page, because I know you post a lot of the stuff there. Did Bud and Angie's thermal video get posted up there by any chance?
He put it on his page. I don't usually post what researchers find.
Oh, okay.
You know, I let them keep it for themselves.
Okay, so
I mean, I keep something for the record, but
do you know what Bud and Angie's page is by any chance, so we can direct people there?
Fun Adventures with Bud and Angie.
Fun Adventures with Bud and Angie. So
Yeah.
that's another place you can go see the recent, because that was really recent.
Yeah.
That was like what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Back in October, yeah. 1st of October. First week of October.
So super recent.
Mhm.
And I know you've got a bunch of stuff and evidence and things that you've found, and some video and audio recordings and all sorts of stuff. And I just really want to focus this time. We're going to have you back. Hopefully you'll come back again, Flatrock. But I want to this time just kind of get into your head a little bit versus showing, a bunch of photos, so people can do that on their own.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the moment you went from, skeptic to knower, I guess, that somebody had worded, was any sleep problems that night, any disturbances in your life? Did you want to tell the world? Did you want to just keep it to yourself? Where were you at?
No, I was basically keeping everything to myself. I mean, it was just something I just never believed in, yet there it was. I mean, how can you explain that?
Yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, I wasn't even doing YouTube at the time. I didn't even know about YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even do internet back then. We didn't have internet back then here. But,
did you discuss it with your mother? Did you discuss this?
Yeah.
So the people that were close to you, you talked to them about it.
Yeah. Well, there's 5 people here now, and there's 6 now. My oldest brother just moved out here. He just retired from work, so he moved out here. The 5 of us that live out here before my brother lived here have all seen them. Every one of us.
Oh wow!
Every one of us. And we hear them, but I'm the only one who actually stayed focused on them, to where I was wanting to take pictures of them. I was wanting to video them. But when I found out that really pictures and video really ain't good evidence to really put out there, the audio I focused on, because I totally quit filming and taking pictures, putting out trail cams, all that stuff about 2 years ago. And I just strictly focus on audio now, and focus on trying to capture language from these creatures. Since they're so close up, I just try to focus on getting language, and that's my main focus.
Well, we'll have to talk about maybe something that we could do with some new or really cool technology right near your home or way away from your home.
Yep.
And maybe there is something that could be done. There's a lot of new technology, and pictures or video would be really good if they were clear and close up. That's what we need. But yes, you're right. Far away stuff, still pictures. Yeah. But with, AI and all the stuff you can do now with Adobe, and it doesn't prove much.
Most of the time you catch these creatures anyway on video, it's going to be mostly at nighttime. That's if you got a light behind it that you can actually see it, cross through the yard, which, I have captured it crossing through the yard on video. And, I've caught them. This is at daytime. I've actually caught a family of them up in that blind right off to the side of my mom's house. They're just sitting there, just staring at us. There's a mama, some kids, and a juvenile right there in them trees. And that I got that on video, but they never moved. I think the juvenile blinked. That's about all that happened.
I saw your eye shine video.
Yeah. Yeah, that was right here out this window.
Real intriguing. Yeah, real intriguing. Real wide set eyes. It doesn't prove anything, but I've seen the exact same thing. Like I filmed the exact, it's on my cell phone, the exact, I mean, literally exact, right down to the point where you can see them moving their head too.
Yeah.
You know, one eye will kind of dim as the other one brightens up as they move their head. Super
the
interesting.
The actual size of that video is actually over right at an hour and a half. I just cut out that little bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So why do you think they keep hanging around there, that Sly Fox ass? So what do you think they want?
I think they were already here when we moved here.
Okay.
You know, because we're the first people to actually live on this property. It used to be just an old hunting place. And matter of fact, they did have a logging place up front, you know, where they brought all the logs at, a wood yard. That was up front. And but they were already here before we got here. You know.
And you guys have done nothing to drive them away.
No. Well, we tried. I could say we tried.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you
going
do?
back to the big brown one. That was the one that was always banging on our house and yelling out the windows. And he would also be following my mom everywhere. He didn't mind being seen at daytime. I got a hold of the game warden. He was just down the road at the creek bridge. And I was telling him our situation. I brought him onto the property and showed him right where, you know, this big brown one was, you know, and told him what this big brown one was doing. And, you know, he actually told me, you know, right out of his mouth, you know, because we were wanting to get rid of him, even shoot the thing. He told me we couldn't unless they were there because they were federally protected. And I said, well, hold on. If they're federally protected, I thought they didn't exist, you know. And he didn't say much more after that. So we finished up our conversation. He left. Well, I've always got my camera toward that little nesting area where that big brown one likes to come to. It's either a blind or a nesting area. It's one of the two. I don't know what people call them, but it's a area where they always came to. And so one night I got my camera faced toward the that area, and I see a blinking light moving upwards around that area. And I'm wondering what this blinking light is. So I blowed it off for a little while, you know, and a few weeks after that, we started hearing, I thought it was 2 days. Mr. Bobby thought it was 3 days. So I'm going to say either 2 or 3 days. We had multiple machine gun fire tracing off through the woods. Well,
what?
After that, we never seen that big brown one again. So I'm figuring they come in and they put it down.
Okay, you don't know who was behind the machine gun fire?
No,
you have no idea?
No. Oh, it was multiple machine guns. It was multiple machine guns, not just one. It was multiple.
Well,
it was multiple machine gun fire
on your property.
No, it was tracing off through the lease, right off the side of our property, but tracing off through the lease like it was, you know, getting every day it was getting further and further away from us. That shooting was getting further and further away from us.
Were there other witnesses besides yourself on this machine gun fire?
Our family, yeah, and Mr.
Your whole family. Wow. So who do you think was behind the machine gun fire, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I never seen them, so I couldn't tell you.
Jeez.
Oh, I know it happened.
Does that only happen that one time? There's never been any other.
That one time, yeah.
Just that one time, and there's never been any other military training around there, nothing like that.
Nope.
Wow.
And the so-called brown one you've not seen again?
Nope.
Ever?
That thing hung around for a few years. You know, he'd step out broad daylight. I got a good backside picture of him, but he'd step out in the daylight, be watching my mom's house, almost every day. Every day he was here anyway. Not every day, but every day he was here, he'd be watching my mom or watching her house, and that's what I reported to the game warden, and everything after that happened.
Wow.
So
does the game warden? Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to ask about Not So Perfect. I had a question about who you let on your property, because I know you've let some friends of mine on. And would you be willing to let any real serious Bigfoot researcher there, or are you not so likely to give them a yes?
Well, I vet people first because I've had problems.
Right.
I've had one person. This is back when I was actually posting some things on YouTube, and I had a person call me up, said he was from a town nearby. This was soon after, I started posting, and he must have knew where I was talking about, because this town he said he was from was no more than about 15 miles from here. And which I looked everywhere for researchers, everywhere in our area. I didn't know much about online research and stuff like that. I was still studying, but I found two people, one being Ashley McFall and Wesley Ackerman. And I chose Wesley Ackerman to come over here. But anyway, this guy who said he was from this city or town 15 miles away, I started betting him he didn't like it, that I was asking questions. And so I come to find out this guy, he wasn't from this town 15 miles away. He was from over in Tennessee. Well, that was the first, red flag that he wasn't going to be coming, which he wasn't, because, he was lying to me. But he started demanding to come out here, not just asking. He started demanding. And, we got a little cursing match. I eventually hung up. But, I told myself, if this is what YouTube is going to bring me and my family out here, it ain't worth having. So I took all my YouTube page down, and figured I'd just, later started up on Facebook, which I did. Yeah. And, but yeah, I bet people first, but yeah, I bring people out here. I brought Stacy Brown's been out here twice, Squatching Cowboy and his wife, his wife become a believer out here. Pat, Joe, Jody, Bud, Angie, Stephen, Keith, and let's see, the Sasquatch Seekers,
Wow.
just a bunch of them. But I like only bringing them during certain times now, because that's when they're really up close, and going by all the recordings and audios and the videos I've done over the past since 2019, this 3-week period, and that's when Angie, Bud, Joe, and Pat always come, because they know that time period. They're always right here, right up at the house at that time period.
So fall is the best time of year there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
From the first day of fall to the second week of October, they are always right here.
Is that a certain
all other times are hit and misses?
Okay.
Some people can come over during certain other times and just be hit and miss. They might get something, they might not. But during this 3-week period, always.
I wonder if hunting seasons have anything to do with where they go. Do you think so, or do you?
I believe so. Because it seems like when they start putting the corn out, when the hunters start putting the corns out, that's when they start moving. I believe that. I really do.
How cold does it get in your neck of the woods? Are you even going to tell us what state you're from?
Alabama.
Oh, okay. So no problem there.
No. I live in Conecuh County, Alabama.
Okay. Do you feel that they go on any kind of migratory routes, or is the weather mild enough all year around?
Well, it's like next week we're going to be 30 degrees all week, which is just a little below freezing. I mean, I've seen it get down to 10 degrees out here. So that's really about it. I mean, it's cold, but northern cold, y'all a lot colder than we are down here.
Have you ever put any thought, Flatrock, to the fact that, we have Bigfoots up here in Minnesota, but it gets down to 20, 30, 40 below at times. Mm-hmm. I always wonder, and I don't know, I don't have any proof, that if some of them don't migrate down to kind of like your neck of the woods for the winter. Do you ever all of a sudden see like a new or get a glimpse of a new creature, like a different color that you've never seen, or any evidence of
the only ones I've seen, Doug, is one brown one. Rest of them are solid black.
Okay.
Just that one brown one. Rest of them were all solid black.
Black, okay.
Solid black.
So do you see them at all the rest of the year, or do you only see them during the peak time in the fall?
During that peak time.
So,
I mean, not all the time. The last time I've actually laid my eyes on them, was in 2021. That was the last time I laid my eyes on them, because I don't go looking for them no more. I don't.
So you think the other parts of the year? So you think the other parts of the year that they're gone? They're not in the area at all. Okay.
No. They come in and go. It's just a hit and miss time. All I can say is these 3 weeks, you're going to get good evidence in this 3-week period. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other times of the year is always a hit and miss. You could come here for a week, might not get nothing. You come here for a month, might not get nothing. But in this 3-week period, I've always got something. Every time, every single year within this 3-week period of time, I've always captured something. Always.
I wonder if there isn't some food source that they really, really like. Is there any nut trees on your property? Tons of oaks, are there wild fruit trees? I mean, is there anything you can think of that might be different on your property than the surrounding area?
Well, the main thing they was coming after was dog food and cat food. That was the main thing they was coming up for.
Up to the house.
Porches. Yeah, that's when they come up on our porches was for dog food and cat food. Outside that, there's wild fruit all over this place. You got wild game all over the place. This is a great hunting area for deer, turkey, hog. Hog being down at the river, but deer, I can just shoot one out my back door if I wanted to. I mean, that's how many deer that's out here. They was one time when Joe Parker, Joe Pass, Pat, and Miss April were here, and we went walking through the woods, walking down that creek. Well, just off the creek, but walking through the woods, and we come across 7 carcasses of deer. They were whole deer, all bones, but they were, either one had a broke leg, one or two had broken necks. 3 of them were wrapped around trees, but they were all right there in one small area which Joe ended up calling it a kill zone. I ain't never heard of a kill zone, but them being the researchers, they called it a kill zone, so that's what we call it. We have lots of kudzu vines around here, a lot of it.
That's interesting.
And you could actually go under that kudzu. There's like tunnels, pathways under that kudzu. You can actually live under that kudzu.
That's interesting. That's a good question.
But is there one food source that is unique to your property? Is there something, some mushroom or something there's just an abundance of?
No, just, there's wild fruit around us. That's about it. Persimmons, berries. There you got them grapes, scufflings. Yeah, scuffling grapes. That's about it. Other than the wild game. That's really about it.
When they raid your cat food and dog food, how much do they take?
Oh, they take a pretty good bit of it. They actually leave some, but they take a pretty good bit. It's more than one always coming up to grab it. So they actually leave some, but I guess a 50-pound bag, and these are small dogs, okay? Not counting my lab. These are small dogs. And this 50-pound bag was going within a week. That 50-pound bag usually lasts a month. This food was going within a week. And, they was actually taking it out of a 5 or 10 gallon bucket, them buckets that paint buckets and all. You could actually hear on some recordings that I got, you can actually hear them pulling the lid off them buckets and then putting the lid back on it, popping it back down before they leave.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what brand of dog food? I'd be amiss
Just
if I
any
didn't
kind.
ask.
Just any kind. Premium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Do
was
they ever
curious
leave
if there's one type or one brand they like more than the others. You never know.
Yeah. I don't see no difference in it.
Okay.
I don't.
Have they ever left
That's all I
anything
know.
for you?
They coming up. That's all I know is they was coming up on the porch to get dog food and cat food. Yeah.
Put the lid back on. Jeff had
They
it.
put the lid back on. Yeah.
Jeff, go ahead.
Have they ever left anything there for you? Any kind of objects have they left behind for you?
The only thing that I can think of was last year when Bud, Angie, Joe, and Pat and Miss Jody was here. A couple of days before they got here, I had a roast, and it was getting tainted. So I throwed it out in the woods. Stupid me. And but we're sitting around a fire that one night, and Boo took off toward the fence line, and me and Bud got up and we walked over there, calling Boo back. And next thing you know, Boo's coming away from the fence line with a hide of meat. That hide of meat looks like something had just ripped off like a flank from a deer or ripped off the back of a rabbit. I mean, it was fresh as heck, had hair all over it. You could actually see the blood still in it. And they called that maybe a gift. I didn't know what to call it. All I knew it was just a flank of meat that was right there where I had thrown that tainted roast a few days earlier.
Interesting.
Fascinating. So, do you ever hear them walking? Like, I've heard them so many times approaching a cabin, and they're so heavy you can hear them shaking the ground as they walk up. Before they're going to jump up on the porch, before they do. And I also have had experience with them kicking and playing with 5-gallon buckets. Usually, like every time they jump up on the porch at Snell, they would kick the bucket, just kick it. And they would kick it against the wall so it wouldn't move. You'd go clunk, very unique sound. And then they'd leave, they'd, mess around, they leave for a while, and then they come back. And so have you ever witnessed like this one is the vibration, I want to hear about that. But then have you witnessed anything that's kind of like almost autistic type behavior where they'll repeat something over and over and over, or mess with something over and over and then leave and then come back and do it again? Any kind of patterns like that, Flatrock?
The only pattern that I really noticed, were two different things. One, them coming up on the porch and coming up to this fence line during that 3-week period. That's really the only, that I've noticed. The repeat things anyway. As for walking,
the tapping was kind of a repetitive thing.
The tapping was repetitive, exactly. Yeah. Now, after that big one was gone, I've only had them hit on my house one time since that big brown one was gone.
Oh.
And the way that happened was earlier in the day, a cop come over. He was looking for a silent alarm going off. It wasn't none of us. So we had told the cop it was probably the hunting camp right next door to us. So, across the street anyway, but next door. And because we knew he had a silent alarm over there. So he had left. And later that night, my house got hit pretty hard. Even Mr. Bobby up front heard the hits. It was just that hard. And I did want to leave something in my britches that night too. But I went and asked my mom because, by then time I knew usually why they're hitting on our house, because, we're leaving food out and all that stuff. We don't leave out dog food and stuff no more at this time. But I had went over to my mom and asked her, was she putting out any food? And she told me, she was putting out some table scraps for the cats for the last week, but she had stopped. So I'm figuring that's the reason they come over and hit on my house that night. But I still don't know why he hit on them that hunter's camp house that night. And that ain't too far away from me at all. But
Is it possible? Have you ever thought this? They're trying to get us out. This is like step out of the cabin or step out of your home to nab you. That occurred to you?
I've actually sent you a recording of them actually banging on my house one night. He's yelling and banging on my house. And the thing is, I wasn't here. That time I was over at my mom. We was all sitting down eating supper at the time.
Okay.
And we might have done finished supper. We might have been watching TV, but it was, dark, but still early dark. But we started hearing some yelling going on. Didn't know he was banging, but we did hear the yelling. And we actually just come out with flashlights. I had my camera at my laundry room window facing, toward my mom's, but he ended up not coming past the camera. He was on the back side of the house here, yelling and banging on my house. We thought, the way that loud that yelling was, we thought he was closer over there toward mom's, but we looked with flashlights. We couldn't find him, find out who was yelling until I come and checked that camera. And then we knew it was right here when they was yelling and banging on my house. Why? I think he might have been mad about the camera right there at the window. My personal opinion. That's my personal opinion, that he was mad because the camera was right there at the window facing toward that nesting area, and they didn't like it.
Well, let's talk about this nest that you had mentioned. Can you describe it? Do you have any photos of it?
Yeah.
I take it that, Jeff, you didn't get any photos from Flatrock.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did, yep.
Do you have the nest that you can dig around and put up? So tell us about the nest, Flatrock.
Well, it's you got the power line right here that comes down, powers my house, powers my mom's house, and there's a lane that goes through there. But right off the lane, it comes this way, and then it comes this way down my backyard, right out the window here, down this way. But right here on this corner, right there on the corner, there was a thick area up in there, and be honest with you, it looked like they're the ones who placed these little limbs that the power company come in and moved off to the side. They built it up to where it gets extremely dark. I mean, it's like they closed it in somewhat with these little limbs, and to where it was so dark in there, you can't even see in there in the daytime. I'll find that a picture for you and see if I can't show it to you on here.
So what is the nest made out of?
Just trees. Now on the bottom, on the ground, is a bunch of real thin branches. And it before we run the tractor in there to clear it out, it was like like something big and things laying down in. What it actually looked like. Trying to find. There we go. Let's see. That's the nesting area.
Okay. Jeff, do you have that picture?
See that vine going across?
I
That's
do not.
a 7.5 foot mark.
Okay.
That vine going across there is a 7.5 foot mark. Let me see. There we go. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
No,
What do you have, Jeff? What do you have?
I've got pictures that looks like there's remnants of a fire. It looks like there's some handprints.
Yeah, I
some
sent
footprints.
handprints.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you can send anything to Jeff, probably in Messenger. He can get it up.
Sure. Yep. Give me a second here. Pull that up.
Well, okay, this nest, what makes you think it was a nest? And was there any weaving of any of these small branches or sticks? Did you ever see anything weaved?
Yeah.
Wow.
This vine going across right here.
Yep.
They did that. It's actually it's actually holding this. It's actually pulled this over to go over right here. And let's see. See how they put all those vines on these little limbs, dead limbs right there?
Yeah.
They put them there, not us. Them were actually laying down on the ground like the rest of these.
Gotcha.
But it's actually on this side too, where the limbs are that goes across, just like this right here.
Well, okay, but
on this side as well.
What do you think the purpose of the nest is, Flatrock?
They was coming in there to watch us, keep it real dark in there, and they'd come when we'd be out there sitting on the back porch. They'd come up and just be sitting there watching us. I mean, like I said, film don't do you no good, but I'll send you a video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. I'll send you a video of them sitting there watching us. You'll see the mama, the babies, and the juvenile right there in that little area, just sitting there watching us.
Well, we'll plan on part 2, and then we'll really load the show up with a lot of video and have you go through everything. And that'll be our main focus of that show. It's just all of the audio and video and that kind of stuff and film. Today, I just want everybody to get to know you. That's kind of my
Yeah.
purpose today. I get to know what's going on verbally. Like I said, you can go to his Flatrock Wood Booger page on Facebook, and you can look at stuff. And I would imagine you've been posting for how many years? 2, 3?
About 3 years, maybe.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more to come, probably. So is there
Yeah.
more activity now or less since that
It's,
machine gun fire?
Since the machine gun fire, it's actually less, and the more when I was bringing a lot of people over, back to back to back to back to back, that's just always also slowed it down a little. That's why I just try to focus on this little 3-week period. When I know they're back there, it gives the researchers good ample opportunity to get good research, get good evidence, either class A, class B, whichever one they get. I've had 2 researchers get class A sightings out here, one during the day, one at night on thermal. I don't know what that is at Bud caught, but Angie, she's just as straight up as Bud, and a very, very reliable person to believe. And she goes over on her video exactly what she's seen and how they tried to debunk it and the size of it. And they did a pretty good job. I mean, they did try to debunk it that night, right after they seen what they seen. And again, that morning, they tried to debunk exactly what they were seeing.
So can you describe the thermal footage? Just describe it verbally.
All right. Yeah, we were sitting there at the table, just sitting there talking. And Boo jumped up from a dead sleep, started walking toward the tree line, started growling and barking. Bud jumped up with his thermal to go look, because we're only like 20 feet away from the fence. And Angie, she grabbed the night vision, like a night vision owl. And she was looking one way while Bud was following Boo down the fence line. Boo stopped barking. But what it shows on that video, on that thermal, is when Bud's looking down that fence line, you can actually see something. Right when Bud's looking at it, you can actually see it jump in behind a tree, like it just snaps back in behind a tree, and that's what that thermal shows, something moving back.
So it shows something hiding or trying to hide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Yep.
Big, looks big.
Yeah, I mean, it's not definitive of what it is, but it is something that, when Bud turns his thermal toward it, it jumps in behind a tree.
Yeah.
And we don't see it no more that night.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. People, you can still ask questions here. I have plenty of time. We wanted to I wanted to do at least tech breakdown tonight. If you don't mind, we interrupt and then we'll get back to your interview. I want to get this. It's pretty quick.
Yeah,
but
go
it's
ahead.
I definitely want to follow through.
Yeah.
Our show, we don't mind if it runs late tonight. It's our Thanksgiving Eve special.
Yep.
So let's do tech breakdown, Jeff, if we can.
Okay.
And feel free to comment. Please comment, Flatrock, on what we're going to talk about here.
Yep.
All right.
I'll give you 9. All right. Do you want to throw up? I think it's called T1. I've got to get to my notes here again. I'm sadly behind on following my own notes here. So what I want to talk about is sound, because there's new, T1. There is new technology, and this represents kind of new technology, which is a UHF radio that can control a mini call blaster. And they have many different brands. They range from $90, Flatrock, all the way to $500, right? And I would imagine they all work similar. I don't know. I've not tested these. But what's cool is these will do 100 to 300 yards distance. So you can put this places way out in the woods, put a camera or an audio recorder, right, near it. And so let's think 300 yards. That's a quarter mile about, right, Jeff? 300 yards, about a quarter mile. That's 900 feet.
1320. I know a quarter mile is 1320 because that's drag racing. So
okay, so it's under a quarter mile, but it's still pretty damn far.
Yeah,
it's definitely far enough where they're not gonna sense your presence.
Yeah.
But what I recommend you do is to download some Bigfoot sounds, including maybe ones that you've recorded yourself, and play those sounds by remote control in a new area. Be real, maybe sneaky where you drop this thing. Remember, don't lose it, but put it somewhere, and maybe you can put up a camera, but hide the camera or an audio recorder. Go back far enough away, like in Flatrock's case, you could go back to your house.
Yep.
And then you could have a sound down here that you've recorded of them screaming.
Right. Well, we did that twice. Last year, October of last year, first week of it, when I had them 5 people out here, Pat, Joe, Jody, Jody, this is also on video as well, on Bud and Angie's page. We had Jody walk over here at the wood line, and she had practiced this howl, I reckon. She's practicing opera, I think she is.
But
she practiced this howl that we was capturing out here, and she done it twice right over at the wood line, and she got the same sound come right back at her. Which I sent you that audio as well. It's called Jody's Howl.
Okay.
And you could actually hear that same howl that she's putting out come right back to us from something at a distance away from us. Now, I tried, one day, this was before that, I can hear one going, up front at the front of the property. And I stuck my head out the door, and I, started howling.
Right.
For it. Well, I didn't know there was one just right here in the wood line right off to my left. And I guess within 5 seconds after I howled, I got growled at, and that's the last time I done any howling out my door.
Well, here's something that could be tried.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, see, you have a different situation. You have to live there.
Yeah.
Most people, they go into a research area and they get to go home at night, right? You don't get to. You got to stay there. So if they get PO'd, they're going to stay PO'd, might do some damage to your home. So I would be a little different. I'd be a little more cautious in what I did there.
Yeah, that's the reason for the betting.
Yeah, absolutely. But if this was something that could be done, like, in a new area that's still near your property, but not associated with your property, it would be something to try, because I really believe that it's going to be a multi-step process that gets the footage, or maybe the best new audio that's, as good as like the Sierra sounds, something really amazing that's going to light the world on fire. But with this, you could do wood knocks. You could play the Sierra sound. You could do whatever. You could play their pre-canned, animal rabbits that are injured, coyote. You could do all sorts of stuff. But if I was to suggest like the Flatrock, it would be play some of their own screams over to see what happens. Does it get their curiosity? Do they come up and bang the house? Yep. Does it get them to communicate something? I don't know. This is untested tech. But the fact that this will go 100 yards to 300 yards, I think is something most researchers could afford. $90 is not that much money for a unit like this. And like I said, it's small. It operates on a radio. So that's all I wanted to do for Tech Breakdown is, once again, give some ideas that have not been tried. I do know that it'll be multi-step. Do you agree with that, Flatrock? Multi-step?
I do agree. I sure do. I mean, when Jody did what she did and got that call back, I'd say,
Flatrock, is that the clip called Jody Mimic Howl?
Yep, that's it.
I have it here if you want to play it. Only
Flatrock?
1 second.
Yeah, play anything you want.
All right,
Jeff. 1 second here to pull it up. Hopefully this works.
That's Jody. One more time.
You hearing stuff over there?
You got them dogs going.
I hear the dogs riled up.
Yep. There it is. That's one of them. Here comes the other one. Right there.
Holy shit.
Interesting. Jeff, can you just play that last little part over?
Right there.
Holy shit.
Definitely some excitement there. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it mimicked her right down to the letter. I mean, she's Opry trained, voice trained. And, and she can tell you, right now if it's a person or something other than a person's voice. And she knew right then that wasn't a human coming back at her like that.
Very interesting. Do you I see we got Bud in the audience now. Bud's in the audience.
Hey,
Bud. He just popped in. Maybe he was in earlier. I didn't notice, but people have been saying hi, Bud. And once again, how many times has Bud been out there? Once or twice?
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you one story on his first time out here. I'm going to tell it, Bud. They was going to sleep. I think it was the second night here. Might have been the third night. But him and Angie got in the back of their truck, was basically going to sleep. And the next thing Bud hears is something walk up to his truck, whoop at it right there beside the truck. And I guess it startled Bud because Bud pulled his little 12 gauge, right after he heard it. Whoop right beside his truck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So how many Bigfoots do you suspect Flatrock live or utilize or visit your property?
I've personally seen 2 clans, not counting the males now. I've seen 3 males in my time here. But the female, the juvenile, and the kids, I've seen two different ones. 2 totally different ones.
And what makes you think they were the male species?
Because they were all by themselves. And anytime I've seen a young one, there was always a big one and a little one. The big one being on 2 legs and the smaller one being on all 4s. I always knew that was most likely the female. When the big one would be by itself, you'd always see a smaller one right there with it.
I gotcha.
The males itself, I can only say by the immense size of them, and them being by themselves, because I've never seen these 3 males that I've seen. They're just huge. One of them, I got a clip of. He's just sticking his head out from behind that blind, and he's right at 9 foot. The one I first seen, I didn't get a picture of him until later. I guess between 2 and 4 weeks later, I caught him in that nesting area, and it's a nice silhouette picture of him because he's just so black, but you could tell, he's profiled, and you can see the shape of his face, his shoulder, and all the way down to the ground. And he got that little, like a moose lick up here on the back, either on top. I say it's the back, but it's a moose lick up here on top of his head. And that big brown one, that was the other male that I've seen. And
interesting.
Have you ever had one that you think was intentionally trying to get your attention?
That big brown one.
Yeah.
I got when I had Wesley Ackerman here, he's actually a pastor as well. He ain't just a Bigfoot researcher, he's a pastor. And him and his kid, I ain't even moved in this house yet. We'd come in here, and I'd go over the audios I captured, between the times, he'd come here and then. But we walked out the front door here just before I had my porch up. Just had them 3 steps. And we stepped on the ground, and I had a trail cam set up on this end of my house. It was up on a little hill, that I put there. And the camera was right there in the middle of that hill with a few weeds, trying to hide it. And as we walked out the door, walking toward it, you see the camera go off. What we didn't know was there was one right behind us, about 10, 15 feet behind us. Nice eye shine picture on that, on the trail cam picture, and he's the size of that big brown one that stayed right up close to us, and I figured that was him as well.
The reason I asked, Doug has a theory that I think is a really good theory, that they intentionally distract viewers away from things they want us to not see, particularly juveniles. I think there's a lot of evidence that they're trying to distract us from messing with their juveniles. Does that kind of fit with what you're seeing?
Yeah. They will intentionally get our dogs yipping. They'll be going whoop whoop, out there in the woods, and you can hear them. But what they're doing, they're getting our dogs, all wound up, all barking. I sent you an audio. It's messing with the dogs. You can actually hear that thing whooping it up, getting our dogs all riled up, and you'll hear our dogs just go crazy. But in that one, you can hear that one little sound that's totally different than the sound that it's making. So I'm figuring that's when something that said, it's time, we can move on through, get to the next block over, And so, I believe they intentionally do that. It's kind of like the whistling. When they whistle, like they say they whistle right over here, I know, just by being around them so long now, that when they whistle over there, you really don't want to be looking over where they whistle. You want to be looking behind you or off to the side of you, because they're just distracting you, to get you to look that way when the real thing's going on behind you or off to the side of you.
Is that the clip called Juvie Messing with Dogs?
That's it.
All right, give me 1 second here. I can pull that up. Whoops, hit the wrong button here. 1 second here. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Give me 1 second here. Juvie Messing with Dogs.
Have they ever tried to get in your house?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay,
They've
good night,
actually
everybody.
They've actually opened my front door.
Oh,
They didn't
nice.
come in, but they actually opened my front door.
So that was a question from China Productions.
Yeah.
So any attempt to get in your house. There you go. So, I mean, were you home when this happened?
No, you could actually hear it on
Recorder?
audio where they
Okay.
you'll hear a whistle. It sounds kind of like, I mean, I sent it to you. It sounds like pow, pow, hitting my glass door. I mean, it's like he just whistling and then pow hits my door. But it ended up opening up my wood door, and that happened.
So this is the clip that you titled Juvie Messing with the Dogs. You ready for it?
Yep. All right, that's my dog right there. There he goes.
Yeah, I hear a whoop, like a
That's
whoop.
him. Yeah.
Are those your dogs?
Yeah, that's my dog and my mom's dog. That's really about it. Rest of it's just the dogs going on.
Can you find just that whoop part, Jeff? The part where it's a clear whoop. And I've done so much research. There are no animals in the forest that you do the greatest whoop ever, Flatrock. Go ahead and do one of those whoops again.
Whoop.
Yeah, there's no animal in the forest that does that. There's no birds. There's nothing. If you hear a whoop, it's either an unknown animal or it could be a Bigfoot, because it's got to be an animal nobody knows about, because there's
Right. Now the last time I recorded them doing that, you can actually hear a baby's language in there. You can actually hear a baby like crying out there in the woods.
I got that clip. 1 second here.
I love audio. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, why do you think they're not afraid of audio recorders?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not using an audio recorder. I built my own little parabolic, and it's just a big metal bowl attached to a little PVC pipe. I run my microphone from there into my window, which connects to my camera, and I Bluetooth my iPad to my camera to where I can listen outside from right here in my living room. And when they start up, I just mash record, and there it goes, and there it is. Now, once I go to sleep, it's on full record. It's automatically recording all night. But when I'm awake, like right now, I wait till I'm start to hear something. If I get that itch, something's fixing to happen, I mash record, and then I just wait. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes it don't.
All right, Jeff, go ahead and play the clip.
There it is. There it is. Did you hear a baby?
Yeah, I heard what sound like it could be like an infant kind of gibberish, infant
Yep.
gibberish.
Exactly.
Very high voice, yeah.
Yep. And rest of it's all that just that whooping still. Now that's about a 10-minute video. I mean a 10-minute audio, because it's mostly just whoop, like it's calling something. But then at the end, it's like it's starting to get agitated about something because his whooping gets really, louder. But, it really surprised me to hear that, that babyish talk in there. That was really cool to capture.
Have you ever heard gibberish, human, like a male voice, gibberish, or any kind of talking, like sound like words? What have you heard?
Yeah, I've actually sent you one. Let me see what the name of it is. Hold on a second.
Flatrock, when did you send this stuff to me?
A
Was it
few
a
days
while
ago,
back?
about a week ago, I think.
Oh crap! I never got it. Just so you know, or
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
I got it from Alex. I thought you got it too.
No, I did not.
I can forward it all to you later.
Oh yeah. Possible Bigfoot chatter vocals.
Yeah,
that's the one you'll hear like a male one. How he's talking, like he's talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
But what they're doing to set this up, that was the night they was actually hunting my dog. And before that vocal happened, you will actually hear a fast whoop, and then you'll hear the whistle, and that's when my dog, he was still an outside dog at the time, and he reacts to that whistle, starts barking, and then about like between 30 seconds and a minute later, if that's when you start hearing this talking goes on.
All right, go ahead and play it. Feel free to make comments, Flatrock.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear it right there, like it's or whatever sounds they're making, but it's actually talking to another critter right there beside it. As far as I can tell, that's what I believe.
Can you turn the volume up, Jeff, and play it again? Because I didn't hear.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to hear.
Oh, it's not real loud.
No, it ain't loud at all.
Can I
because
play you?
They're at a distance, because I was only using a recorder at this time. This was up there close to at the start of everything. Right after I started seeing them is when I recorded this. So I was just using an old little tape recorder at the time.
All right, here, this is as loud as I'll get it. I'll play it again.
That was it.
Yeah. Any other ones you want me to play?
That's why. Once I started going to a microphone, is when I really started getting further. That's when I was able to get deeper in the woods,
right?
For the sounds. But yeah, at the early times, I was getting just quiet things like that there.
Well, we recorded this sound. I'm going to play it for you. Up at Snellgrove Lake, a very remote area. We all heard this sound live come over one of our camera mics. So it must have been really close. Listen to this, Flatrock. Tell me what you think.
Wow. All right, here. I think I can do with you the same thing on that. That's probably close to that. It's the one on back in language and words, where this one you can actually hear say "Husahei Tua." I mean, it's almost like Native American language.
That's what mine sounds like, Native American.
And and it's 00037, 10:49 p.m. And this was down between my house and the creek where he says this, where whatever it is says this, but you can hear it very well.
Ready?
Yep.
Please.
Right there. That was it.
What? Okay, play it again.
Yeah, that's all he said. That Husahei Tua. That's all he said.
It really helps, Jeff, if you play it several times.
If you want to, just start at the 12-second mark. Right there.
Yeah, if you just keep clicking it, right there, it'll just keep rewinding it to that 12-second.
But I've been asking around, trying to find out what kind of, if that's Indian, Native American language. And I just ain't been able to find nobody who knows what that word is. I mean, the closest I've come to it, it's one of Stacy Brown's old footage, something experiment when they was down in the Everglades. That Allen guy, he's passed away now. In that documentary that he made, he says something similar to that Husahei Tua, and because I had done recorded that at the time they said that on that footage, that when he put it out, and when I seen Stacy, I said, this Husahei Tua is really close to what that Allen guy was saying on your documentary, because he never caught an audio. He only said, what he was hearing out there in the Everglades. And this Husahei Tua, is really close to what that guy was saying that he was hearing out there where he was at.
It's very interesting. Yeah. Well, I was thrilled that we got what we did. It's not very long, but it's just so amazing to hear this gibberish come over a microphone on a camera out in the woods. It's like, what?
Yep.
It's fascinating.
Well, if you want to play the banging on my house, that's a good one.
Yeah, Jeff.
Banging and yelling.
Okay.
Please.
Let me find that one.
You are now the director, Flatrock. Please just tell us what to put up there.
I just got a couple. I just got to look through a couple different folders here.
I wasn't privy to any of this.
Yeah,
that's my fault.
Yelling, banging. It's the top one on language and words. Yelling and banging. 12 March of 20.
Here. Okay, looking for it here. Hold on one second.
Have you done any gifting, Flatrock, or done anything like that? Nothing. Are you against it, or you just?
No, I ain't against it. I just don't do it.
You just don't do it. Okay. You're really laid back about it.
Yeah, I am now. Yeah, I mean, because I've realized these creatures ain't gonna hurt us as long as we don't do nothing to them.
Right.
They're not gonna bother us. Right. So I've come to terms with it. I mean, once they actually put handprints on our porch, I was told from a Native American that I trust really good. I mean, he's been in your chats before. His name is Pyromedic. He said it's probably a sign of trust that they would actually let their little ones actually come up and put handprints on my porch.
Do we have photos of that, Jeffrey?
Yes, you do.
I do.
Okay, well, play this first, and then we'll go to the photos.
This is that big brown one.
Oh, gee.
That's when we come out in just a second with flashlight.
Let's play it again, Jeff, if it's over. Jeff?
Yep.
It would help if we knew how long of a clip it is.
It's 1:34.
Oh, okay.
Give me start over.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead and start over. I'll shut up now. I know how long it is. That sounded like two different voices.
All right, that's when we come out with the flashlights and he shuts up. But I believe, when he was coming back around the corner and we was flashing the flashlight this way, you'll hear him go whoop and hit him, shoot back in the woods. That's right there at the end of it.
I take it there's more.
Yeah, just one. It's fixed the end.
Okay.
Right there.
Play that. Just kind of repeat that, Jeff, a couple of times. Super interesting. You can do it one more time. I like that first part, actually. Just do the first part.
Yeah, that first part where he was yelling and banging. I'm just glad I wasn't in the house when they did that, to be honest with you. I mean, I've actually caught them laughing, what I consider a laugh.
I didn't hear the banging, Jeff.
Oh, I actually can't hear it, so I'm going by what you're telling me to do.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? Why?
I have no idea. Sometimes these clips I can't hear very well. So,
okay.
What part of the video was it?
It was the very beginning. Play it again. The very, very beginning.
Can do.
Yeah. That's creepy.
Yeah.
All right. I've got some pictures here. I've got a handprint from November 20th and a handprint from October 12th.
Right.
Both.
Let's see here. Let's do the October one. I believe this is the one.
Yep.
So tell us about that one.
That one, Stacy, believe it or not, Stacy Brown was coming the next day. I'm glad he did because he got to collect that oily substance off the porch there. But the night before on the 11th, me and Boo, I always bring Boo out at nighttime so he can relieve himself and then come back in the house. That handprint wasn't there. The next morning, I got up, walked Boo out. That handprint was right there. And what they talk about, see that? Do you see the thumb? How far down that thumb is?
Yes, sir.
And where the fingers are, where it ends on the porch, that's a six-inch board. They say it's only his first knuckles right there where it ends at on the porch.
Do you mind
the other handprint of it is actually under it? The picture was taken in June or July, and that hand that this one made is actually still there today.
Yeah, the Alba vernix doesn't wash away. It's a very thick, waxy coating. Do you mind if I send this photo to my fingerprint expert?
Sure.
Because he is right now in the process of studying these handprints.
Yep.
And hopefully
there's the little baby one.
Yeah, look at the color, and that's not mud because it's still there.
I think that one went ahead and went away, but you see where he come up. I mean, I'm sure if I wet it down out there, it'd pop up, where you could see it. But it looked like what it did, it put his hand there and jumped up, because you see that it looks like a heel right there in front of that little handprint.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
That could be. There might be more data there than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely looks like something. Would you? Okay, so is that heel print's gone? The handprint's gone?
Yeah, and that's right at the top. And that, believe it or not, that's straight out in front of my front door.
How long ago was that?
About a month or two after that first handprint. I mean, that's the third handprint I got. The first one I ever got was actually on my truck, on the passenger side of my door. It looked like it grabbed the handle and the other handprint in the middle of the door. And I think what it did, since my window was halfway down, it was looking inside the up in the window to see if there was any food down in the truck.
Interesting. Could you zoom in, Jeff? Anyway?
Yeah, I got zoomed in pictures on them too.
Oh,
there's where he grabbed the door. And then the other one, you'll see it better. There's the other handprint right there.
All right, I'll get all these to David, and we'll have him examine these. Tonight. I've been feeding him stuff.
And what they've also done is they use a stick. I have to burn my trash out here. They use a stick to drive down into the fire pit, pull all the trash over to the edge to grab the food down at the bottom of the fire pit. I sent you a picture of that. You can actually, if you zoomed in on that little trash pile right there on the edge, you can actually see the stick it used.
Let's get rid of this. I'm not sure how to do that, to be honest.
That's fine. That's a good question for Alex.
Yeah, but they pulled all that over to the edge over there so they can get the food that was down at the bottom, up under that burnt leaves and all, and just pulled it right on over and stuck that stick down to hold all that back so they could eat the food off the bottom.
That's pretty interesting. So, So what do you think these things are, Flatrock? What's your opinion?
I think they're like people, between, I ain't gonna say they're ape because I don't believe they're ape, but I think there's a mixture there, in between human and ape, somewhere up in there.
Okay.
Where I'm believing they're at.
Have you had any indications of anything paranormal, seeing orbs or portals or anything weird in the woo area?
Portals, no. I can't say it was an orb, but one night having my camera out that back window, filming into the woods right there, and just so y'all know where I'm talking about, where I'm filming at, there's nothing there for 2 miles. Okay, nothing but woods, straight out dark. Where I'm filming, and there's just a round light there. I don't know if it's eye shine or what, but there's a yellowish, orangish eye or eye shine or a ball like this right there, and it just stays there for 40 minutes. It don't blink, it don't move, but yet there's a orangish yellow light right there in the woods, and it's just there, and there's nothing. No light source, no home, no nothing for 2 miles where I got that camera pointing.
Gotcha.
What it is, I don't know.
Was it just white light?
No, it's yellowish orange.
Oh, yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Now,
orange.
I've seen the white eye shine. I've seen that multiple times. But this is yellowish orange. I know their eye shine could be as yellow as orange as well. But whatever this ball is, either eye shine, it's just one ball, eye shine, or whatever. It's just there. And it just disappears. After 40-something minutes, it just disappears.
Have you had any experiences with any kind of telepathy or anything? Brendan,
I can't say that. The weirdest thing I've ever happened out here is I've heard my name be called. Okay. I thought it was my mom. And I walked over there. Come find out my mom was in another county shopping. But yet that was my mom's voice calling my name. Now, has that happened to other family members here? Yes. It's happened to my brother, and it's happened to my mother.
Mimicking.
Now, if that's paranormal or whatever, I see it more as paranormal than I would them. But now that I've heard language from them, I can't say. If they're just mimicking what we call each other every day out here. Mom, Kenny, Bobby, Jerry, Bob, Bobby, whatever.
Bud had, sorry to interrupt, but Bud had asked, did you mention anything about Indian burial mounds that you may or may not have on your property?
We was told there's 2 of them out here. One on property and one just off property. But one's back here with me, and the other one's up front. They're just small mounds, but they are here.
Interesting. Are you planning, Bud, on going out there again? He's in chat. I'm curious if is he planning on going out there next year?
He'll be here every year at that time. Within them 3
okay.
weeks.
I believe he would. Yeah, he was willing to go to Snowgrove again with us. That was it's quite a journey for him. I mean, you have no idea what it took for him to get to Snowgrove. Got to fly, stay overnight, then we got to buy a bunch of food and pack, and then we got to drive for 12 hours. Then we got to stay overnight again at the floatplane base, and then we got to get up early in the morning, and then finally fly out. And I don't know, did Bud tell you that cabin got broken into weeks before we arrived? And we're like,
well, I actually heard that on y'all video when y'all put it out. When y'all put it out, that's when I first heard about it. When y'all first put it out. Yep.
And yet we didn't really have that much activity last time. We had rocks thrown at like cameras, and we had the talking I played for you, and we had some activity, but it wasn't like that first year that we went out there. Was a lot more. Like Bud had pine cones thrown at him during the day over and over and over, as did Chris and Adam. I mean, we had so much weirdness that it was crazy. And that's why Bud wanted to come again, because it was just incredible, including a thunder knock that they claimed banged, like hit him like a sonic force.
Yep.
Both before the knock and after. I mean, like they could hear like this, you know, this as it swung something is the only way they could describe it.
Yeah, I sent you a couple of knocks. I think I sent 3 knocks. And I actually named the knocks. It's actually knocks and whistles. Because you hear them whistle as well.
Do you have that, Jeff?
Let me pull those up. Yep.
Sweet.
If you
I was going to ask you, have you heard wood knocks? We haven't even talked about that. And you ever do them?
The baseball sound knock? The baseball bat sound knock?
Yeah.
That's the first knock.
Okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. Ready?
Yeah, that's a good wood knock.
That's the baseball sound knock. Now, the other knocks that I sent, one is actually, there is 2 or 3 of them communicating back and forth with each other with wood knocks. They're actually communicating wood knocking. The other one is warning knocks. What I mean by warning knocks, my dog sniffs this one out that's right here at the tree line. And starts barking at him, and you'll hear this old creature. He'll knock a couple of times, then he'll actually like spit or woof at my dog. But my dog won't move away from him, so he constantly starts knocking. And I'm figuring when he's constantly knocking, he's warning the other ones that he's been found, for the other ones to move off. That's just my guess at it, but that's what it actually sounds like.
Okay, before you play this, one last question. Have your dogs gotten used to these things at all? I mean, do they still react pretty violently?
Yeah.
So they're okay.
Yeah. You can ask Bud on that one. I mean, he's really good sniffing these things out. He is really good at it.
So this is the one called Communication Knocks. It's kind of 3 minutes, so it's kind of a long one. So let me know if you want me to back up and replay any little bit.
Go ahead and play. so cool.
Yes, it is. That is really cool.
It's just cool to know they're just doing things, they're just messing around. You got to figure out a way, Flatrock. I think the greatest idea for you. Figure out a way to run that damn cord to your bed and put the headphones on before you go to sleep at night. You can just listen all night.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be, I would actually be kind of comforting. I think it would put me right to sleep. And maybe if you hear something really amazing, you'd wake up.
Yeah.
My son does that. He sleeps with the headphones on and a mic out the tent, and they've caught some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that, Flatrock? I'll send you a bunch of cord. Send you a long. What is it? A mini cord that you need?
Well, I got basically everything I need. I mean, I got this iPad right here beside me at nighttime, so I'm actually listening to everything that's going on.
Oh, so you listen when you're in bed?
Yeah.
Do you put like an earbuds in or headphones on?
No, it's loud enough for me to hear, and if something happens, I'm waking up. Because the dogs are going to react. As soon as something happens, the dogs are going to react. And once
I forgot.
And plus it's already recording.
Yeah.
My main job is once I'm asleep, it's automatic. It's already recording, and and something's happening, and I wake up. I mark it. That's the main thing to do is mark it where it is, so you don't have to go back over that whole thing, to find where that happened at.
I do wonder
that you can go right back to it.
I do wonder if you did not have the dogs, how that would change the dynamics of how often they come up to your home and smack it and do different things. There's got to be some dynamics that happen because they've got to be a little bit intimidated by your dogs.
Well, they could. I mean, I've got an audio where they've actually killed a canine. I didn't send that to you because it is kind of graphic. You can actually hear him get slammed into a tree.
Yeah.
You can actually tell he's hurt. And then, you'll hear a whoop. And then you'll hear the slam up against a tree or him or them hitting it with something.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like hearing it because they know what it is and what's happening. Now, we did have a dog go missing, my brother's dog, and we know it got killed. But, we never seen it again. It never left the yard before, because they were just going right here to go use the bathroom. My dog was with them. And they were gone for a little while, and we went looking for them. We went, we called them over and over. It's never come out of the woods. So we walked down that little path right there, calling them out for them until we got around this curve where what they call a high grass area. And I seen my dog Boo stick his head up out of that high grass and just drop right back down. He would not come from that spot till we got right up to him. As soon as we got to him, he jumped up. He never left our side till we got back here to the house. But my brother's dog, we never found him.
Wow.
Never.
And was the dog was loose? I mean, he could go where he wanted to go. Yeah.
Well, he was actually a house dog.
Oh.
He was a big old muscular bulldog,
Oh, geez.
But, my brother would allow the dog to go use the bathroom. And a lot of times his wife was with Bruiser when they used take him to the bathroom. But on the few times that they didn't, what I believe this dog was doing, a few times he would come back and he'd have this green muck all over him, head to toe, full of green muck. So it looked like he was rolling, how dogs scent the ground with their backs. That's what it's like he was doing over there in that area where we was hearing them walk back and forth to at nighttime. when they would walk away from us, after we pull in the yard from going off to eat and all, when we pull into the driveway, get out of the car, you can actually hear something heavy walking away from us every time we'd pull in that yard. And but that back then we thought it was people. When we was hearing that, even though it was quite heavy, we still thought it was people at the time. But but after we knew what they were, soon after is when Bruiser got done.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wind up pretty soon here. Do you have any message that you want to give to researchers, or just to the person who might stumble on this podcast that doesn't even believe in these things? What's your message to them?
I would say for the researchers to look up for people like me in their area, because we're willing to allow y'all to come onto the property. Once you're vetted, if you allow us to vet you, we'll bring you on. I guarantee you they will. They would want somebody to come in and research these critters, but at a way that keeps the people safe. Because if I brought somebody over here, that wants to shoot at one, that's gonna put us in danger, and we won't allow people like that over here. I had a dude come over here that actually set booby traps, shotgun booby traps, with the cord, PVC, and when that cord gets snatched, it pulls that pin, and that pin comes down on that shotgun shell, and that shell goes off. And he set it down low enough for my dog to go over there to trip over, get shot.
Yikes! That's awful.
So, you got to be careful of who you bring, but that's what I would suggest. Talk to the people who or even if you don't know them, just go ask them. That's what I did. Somebody come and ask me, can they come over and research? I said, sure, come on. Once I found out who he was, come on. And I've been doing it ever since. I enjoy doing that. I want researchers to come over here. I got the place, for them to come over, to learn more about these creatures, because I'm not going to research them. I'm not going to investigate them. I'm going to record, but I'm not going to go out there and research these creatures. I'm not. And it's just a good opportunity for researchers to get in that one area, where them creatures are coming, and to get that good data that they're looking for.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you're open to getting data. And we definitely want to have you back, Flatrock.
Yeah.
You're absolutely amazing, and you've been very gracious for spending so much time with us. I want to thank all of our moderators, Charles, Raven, Lori, John Ayers, Tristan. It goes by Ninja, Caillou Ninja.
I like Ninja. I keep eye on Ninja's recordings. I do.
Yeah, no, he's an amazing researcher in his own right. He's opened my eyes to some new things. But I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Jeff. We definitely want to thank God for the fact we all have, a meal tomorrow to eat. So, it's been super fun. You guys, excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up. So, sorry.
I just love this community. What a great group of people.
Yeah.
It's a great community. It is.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be part of it. It's great.
Yeah. It means a lot. To all of us, you guys being here week after week. So, God, I'm sorry. I'm really emotional. Oh man, that's terrible when a grown man feels like crying his eyes out. But thank you,
Well.
everybody. You know, we really do appreciate your support. We're still here, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And please remember this. I really do want you to remember this. Pablo Picasso once said, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said, that everything and anything you can imagine probably is real somewhere. And that's God's truth. We live in a crazy, amazing world. I'm very thankful for this great, beautiful world we live in. And everybody be good to each other and love everybody. And we love y'all. And God bless.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, please.
I want to say happy, blessed Thanksgiving to everybody for tomorrow. And also, Doug, I'll send you the link to my Dropbox, so you'll have permission to get in there. And if you wish to have any of those audios tested, I mean, I would say
we'd
yes.
We'd love to. Yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
love for you to do that.
Have you hooked up with David Ellis yet?
I haven't. No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do an introduction, and you guys need to talk. And he
Absolutely.
can do a lot of really cool spectrogram analysis. Definitely somebody you need to meet with. And I think that's it. So let's wrap it up. Good night. Good night. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks again, Flatrock. We love you, and we love everybody in the audience. Good night.
You need me to come back? I'm right here, buddy.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
I call you up in the middle of the night. Been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Should be in doubt, and I pray they never can pull us apart. And I'll wait for the time when we'll be together every day. But I know if ever we'll be led astray, that I'll find my way back home to you again. Together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be in doubt. And I pray they never can pull us apart. And I'll wait at the end of the world. Together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be in doubt.